This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Okay, Black Rose.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I got Black Rose and Dr. Short here with me on We All Be Radio. And, we're just trying to close out the year. I mean, 2020 is rapidly approaching. And it's always good to hear a good word from a good doctor about what's going on, giving us a prognosis about the current state of Black America and world affairs and what is to be expected in the very, very near future. How are you doing tonight, Doctor?
Okay. Well, it's all good here. I want to wish everybody a ho. Just don't be one with all these diseases out here.
Okay.
So,
all right. All good.
In your spirit, but not in your body.
Okay. So I hear some kind of stuff in the background, Doctor. I want to make sure everybody can hear you because you got so much important stuff to say. So.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for introducing me to Anna Shearer, a Black Rose, introducing me to Judge Joe Brown. We have a lot of fun educating people. And I don't know, we've become the bad boys of independent Black media. I can't say it's true, but I really do believe Professor Black Truth heard that thing we did on Oprah because he said, we don't joke. He made he took a dig at Oprah being fat. I think I claim some of the credit for that. I feel kind of proud when you hear people doing stuff that you know is what you normally do, that they normally don't do. So that's kind of fun. But, so thanks for introducing me to Judge Joe Brown.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Val and them will take me on as an assistant or an associate producer, because I think that platform could reach 1 million people a week if we think differently about it. One of the struggles is people want to be popular, and being popular these days with Black folks, where our values are not always the right thing, You may be unpopular, but be influential. It's better to reach 100,000 people and really do something than reach 2 million and nothing happen. We've got Fox TV and a lot of things that reach millions of Black folks every day, and it's not doing anything for us.
No, definitely want to shout out, sister. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dr. Randy Short. Go ahead.
I believe that Tariq Nasheed, nobody has to be a saint or perfect, but Tariq and others are making a major contribution, if nothing else, other than get people to think. And so I think Judge could go there. Judge could be an elder, a serious elder. And to me, I don't mind being an apprentice, learning from other people. And maybe when I get in my 70s, maybe I'll qualify.
I mean, yeah, definitely Judge thinks very highly of you. He spoke very highly of you tonight when I had a chance to talk to him earlier. And also I want to give a shout out to Sister Valerie Denise Jones for the Judge Brown Show platform. I really enjoy hearing you on that on a consistent basis, and people are really enjoying that because, like I told you, when I be in public, I have middle-aged Black women talk about you and see, they'd be hushed tones. That Dr. Short is something else. He's very provocative, and they really enjoy what you got to say. I mean, these are middle-class Black women. They part of bureaucracy, but they really enjoy hearing the things you have to say about this stuff.
I love my people. It's not a hate thing. I hate ignorance. You know, I was preaching today to our fellowship. Ashura did make the call. But we were just talking about scoffers and people that believe in nothing and how they mess up things. And, you know, we need to read Psalms 1 or Proverbs 1 to learn about scoffers. And we have a lot of scoffers within our ranks, and then racist scoffers and sinners and so forth. But in a nutshell, I believe that there's hope for our people. There's a bright future for black folks here and now and in the hereafter. We just have to do some things very differently, sort of like what you do with. There are a lot of people doing the right thing in our community. We just don't have the critical mass yet for people doing that. And I think as times get a little more pressing, it's going to happen, right? If things were different, I would be a frustrated black professor at a school with students that don't want to read, that don't want to know. I have to worry about my few motivated students and whether I'm going to get fired because I'm actually trying to teach under somebody else's control. And I'm so glad on a certain level it's cost me everything. But the good thing about being kicked out of the economy controlled by other people is I'm in the process of setting up an LLC and maybe another LLC and a 501c3 and other things, and maybe a CDC if I can get something moving, a community development corporation in Baltimore, and perhaps a historical preservation society, and create several things. And I'll be the boss. And therefore, if I'm proud to be black, or if I say to my young brothers, please don't come with your pants falling off your behind. I say to young women, keep your lesbianism at home. I don't care if you're lesbian, but you have to chase girls in class and everyone see it. I mean, is that fair? And I could get fired somewhere for asking someone to simply be who they are when they're in their own space. So it's been good for me. So you're hearing from me. And a lot of people who I guess appreciate what I'm sharing would not know if I were in the economy like a lot of other people who have to work and have to worry about if they say something that's true, will they be fired? You know, it's really an insane time where you say God made man and woman and you're fired from a job. And you could be at a Christian school and all of a sudden doing what everyone's done for thousands of years is wrong within the last few years. But that's okay. I'm telling you, and I want everybody to understand this, I'll do some basic numerology for you. 20 plus 20 equals 40. 40 in Hebraic gematria represents major change or the shifting of a generation or major event. And that's all throughout the Bible. Paul got beaten 39 times. They laid off one. They normally beat you 40, but they usually lay off on the last one because of the importance of the number 40. Jesus got beat 39 times, right? And you think about 40 years ago, we had the big gay march in D.C. 500,000 gays came. 40 years later, we're going to go into an era of throat cancer, anal cancer, and what I call pharmaceutical homophobia, which has been going on for a while, but this is the 40th year of pharmaceutical homophobia writ large, where they're deliberately killing people who are LGBTQ with drugs that they know aren't safe, all the while telling them how much they love them and this, that, and the other. But remember, we're talking about the gay birth control pill? We've been talking about this for years, Truvada. And there are a bunch of them. It makes people's bones break. It destroys their kidney. It destroys their health. And so you're seeing a lot of people get cancer and so forth. And a lot of this has to do with the generations of this last 40 years of people doing whatever they wanted to. And it catches up. So we're headed towards a reset for a lot of things. And it's going to be both exciting and difficult. You're going to see new leadership. In fact, I had tried to get Valerie Jones to do a show on John Lewis for Friday. Mm-hmm. John Lewis had been on my mind, and Valerie had Umar instead, whatever that is. Anyway, and see how John Lewis is in the news today. Mm. And my sense was John Lewis's news, and okay, she's a millennial. They have to understand the perspective of a person that's lived almost twice as long as you have is it's different, and it may actually be right even if it doesn't make sense to you. And it's like a program I did for Schoon. Schoon called me up and went off of me about talking about Nancy Pelosi on his show. Remember the second interview? Mm-hmm. And I said to him, Schoon, when you make really good interviews, they may miss it at first. It's like a sleeper record. Most people don't realize that, good song. Jimmy Mac, When You're Coming Back, was recorded maybe in 1963. And no one even, right? Mm. And someone found that like 4 years later, says, this is a hit. And they released it. It was a smash. And people couldn't believe that something that they saw is, right? It's the same thing. I heard it through the grapevine, if you know the story. But I heard it through the grapevine was recorded by Marvin Gaye before, I think, Gladys Knight was done. And Barry Gordy and what's this thing called? Quality control people said that Marvin Gaye's I Heard Through the Grapevine wasn't a hit. And they refused to release that song. Can you believe that? Well, and what's his name? It'll come to me in a second.
I would think about Otis Redding with Respect. He wrote that song, Respect, and he sung it, and then Aretha took it to the next level.
Yeah,
but that was his song. That was his song.
But I'm saying people who had something and everybody said no. There are a lot of, the reason I use this, everybody knows popular music, like There Goes My Baby. Atlantic Records did not want to release that song by the Drifters.
Interesting. Wow.
They said no, and this is not, they right? And what I was trying to say to Curtis is, Curtis, you may not hear it, and maybe even the people that hear it don't hear it, but once it goes out there, someone's going to say, I told them, when Nancy Pelosi becomes a major news figure, which she will, I told me some impeachment stuff's going to happen if I do it. Once people start talking about Nancy Pelosi, all the people who heard it on your show says, what is this dude talking about, this little Italian broad that doesn't matter to us, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to go back and say, this is a dude saying her father let all the dope come in to kill black people in Baltimore. And then they'll come back and send that to other people. And they'll say, thank you, brother, for putting that out there when it wasn't hot. But it needed to be said. And I said, that's good programming. That someone will come back 6 months later and say, I got to hear that again. Or Pelosi, someone he mentioned that too, right? And that's the same thing with what we do or what we're doing, as long as we're putting real stuff out there. But anyway, I was saying all that to say John Lewis. Well, I've been praying for God to get him out of that office. I literally had talked someone into running against John Lewis. I was on the phone with one of the kings because we're trying to get someone to get John Lewis's seat. So literally, I just promised to help someone before I got the news to help them get John Lewis out. So this is all in keeping with the fact that I began praying 2 weeks ago, but I've been praying all year about John Lewis and the year before that this has to stop. What he and other people are doing to us have to stop. And however God does it, I won't tell you what I prayed for, but the news today seems like God sure heard me because I said, expedite. The man will be 80 February 21st. He's lived 10. Actually, he's lived 40 almost. Now, he's a rich man, and everybody knows him. He's got the Congressional Medal of Freedom. He's got every single solitary award he could dream of. He's outlived his wife by 10 years. Hey, your grandfather, great-grandfather, unless his son's just like him. What, you've got all these books and documentaries and monuments and scholarships, but what about us? Huh? And the thing that really ate me, which is what I was trying to get down to jump on over, 2 weeks ago, was that John Lewis wants an honor for Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was gay. Gandhi hated black people's guts intently. Gandhi was responsible for the mass murder of the Dalit black Indians. Gandhi supported apartheid in South Africa, just not for Indians. So it's okay for black people to be oppressed and murdered and ripped off and raped. Gandhi had admirers who were in his circle that were admirers of Adolf Hitler. Gandhi was a pedophile. Gandhi was a misogynist. And Gandhi was a Hindu, for me, who felt that my religious beliefs were a sham. So for me, a so-called Christian minister, to pick a person with that record to be honored is despicable. And I've said this to Alveda King, and if I tell any of the King family that they need to stop giving sanctuary and a good image to the Aryan Brahmins that mass murder the black Indians. And yes, I say that the King family, by pretending that Gandhi was this great humanitarian, are complicit in whitewashing the mass murder, the enslavement, the mass rape, the lynchings, the communal violence that occurs all over the Indian subcontinent. Yes, I'm blaming the King family. They need to get out of toasting and celebrating Gandhi. And Martin Luther King, according to Ahudi Roy, a white, or should I say an Indian light skin, they're all saying Dr. King is greater than Gandhi. You know who says Gandhi is greater than Dr. King? Pardon my language. Dumb fuck Southern black folks living in Atlanta. I won't say the last name. It's outrageous that the people in India now saying King is greater than Gandhi. And you got black folks who were told by white liberals that, you should downplay King and play up this Indian that didn't even think black folks were human. Somebody needs to pop some of them side the head. Tell them I said it.
They do have a statue at the King Center of Gandhi, right? They still got
and they have homeless black people outside the King Center, too. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Bernice King, it should be Bear instead of Burn. Bernice King. They're really, along with John Lewis, if he should pass before his 80th birthday, it will represent a complete change. He's the last one of the big six. And I told Alveda King in 2018, after April 2018, 50 years after Dr. King was assassinated, that the King family would be under scrutiny like they'd never been before if they didn't really do right by black folks. So if they want to, basically treat Dr. King's casket like it's a roulette wheel at a casino, it's going to cost them.
Mm.
And they hung Harry Belafonte out to dry. He was beating them. I mean, there's some real issues with this civil rights crew. It's a lot of selfishness, venality, self-hatred. I was talking to someone, and they asked me, was the murder of the girls in Birmingham a sacrifice? With the 4 little girls, a sacrifice to the boule. He asked me this. And I said, unfortunately, as much as I admire both Martin and A.D. Alfred Daniel King, the murder of those 4 little girls and 2 little boys who were shot to death outside the church was it August 28th, 1963, I think I had the right date. If I'm off, that's all right. What we do know, and it's a fact, that a man by the name of Roosevelt Tatum told the King family, Martin Luther King and A.D. King, he had seen the Birmingham Police Department put dynamite in his brother's front yard. And the Kings let this man hang out to dry. This man got put in jail and harassed and run out of Birmingham, died young, up in Brooklyn, New York. Had the Kings and the others been willing to confront the police were involved in the bombing and killing of black people and forced this, it would have saved those little girls and those little boys and a whole lot of other people, because it would have put the FBI and other people and exposed all this police murder and terror of black people. And these people, getting their communistic advice and their white liberal advice, decided to let that black man be destroyed. I think his life mattered just as much as Dr. King or A.D. King or any of the Kings. I hope you... I'm not knocking contribution. You'll never hear me trash Dr. King's commitment. But in this instance, they made a compromise. And they sacrificed those girls, those boys, and Roosevelt Tatum on whatever his family could have been had he kept his mouth shut. And that is a bloody stain, and the blood course all those King families. And there are other people who got hung out to dry, who spoke up and stood up, and they were destroyed by their involvement with the movement. They didn't get rich. They don't have a King Center. They don't get to sell books. They don't get to charge millions of dollars for people to hear a speech. And I'm not against them getting it. I'm only saying that there's a selfish, narcissistic, capricious, covetous spirit in this thing. And it putrefies whatever the movement could have been. Roosevelt Tatum should have a government pardon. The King family should ask for it. Little chunky Martin King was putting this little Martin III putting this daughter out there to speak at the No Guns March. Silly, we need guns. Same way he needs some, weed on his head. Those bald spots don't look good on him. I can't imagine Dr. King bald-headed. Could you?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It depends what type of head shape he has. Like his head is.
No,
talking about Junior, right? You're talking about Dr. King Junior, right?
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. No, you couldn't imagine bald-headed.
I'm thinking about it now. That's what I'm thinking about.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, that'd be interesting.
Can you imagine Dr. King with a bald head? Cora, get me a hat to put on my head. It's kind of cold outside. No, I'm ready to march. It just don't want my head cold. Can you imagine?
No, but you know what I was thinking about when you were saying about the 4 little girls? You know, the 5th little girl survived, Sarah Collins Rudolph.
Eyes were blinded, but still, all the people got hurt. What I mean by sacrifice is that they could have spoken up. You mean, the police are dynamiting people? They blew up Fred Shuttlesworth's house. That's a guy you worked with. Who was doing all this bombing? They could have found it then. And they didn't do that. These are the kinds of things that black folk in leadership do, where they make a decision against all of us for themselves. And you can critique it. And I could say Dr. King was a piece of crap on that, and so was A.D. King. And I say his family's crap, but they don't agree. And by the way, nobody's feeling them these days, so,
Well, the King family, I always say about them is that, it's been proven that their family was under government surveillance, started with the maternal grandfather for 3 generations. And you look at the aftermath of Dr. King, his brother died the next year under questionable circumstances. The bomb get killed at the church Ebenezer at the Oregon by a Hebrew Israelite, June 30th, 1974, Marcus Wayne Chenault from Ohio. So the King family has paid a price, a dear price, for their participation.
But hold on. You mentioned A.D. King, who got killed July 21st, 1969.
Yes, sir.
I'm very much aware, and I didn't dismiss the sacrifice of their lives, but you mentioned 3 people, and I mentioned 6. And I'm not saying that Mrs. King, I remember where I was when she got shot. I remember I was when Dr. King got shot. I remember where I was when I heard A.D. King drown, supposedly.
Right.
I feel nothing but empathy for them and the Shabazes and for all of the black folks who've lost.
Right.
But you see, we've got it all wrapped up in 2 or 3 people dying. And we're whole people. People die every day. 340 some odd people have been shot down in Baltimore. One of them is a young, promising black businesswoman who gets murdered for employing people and creating opportunity.
Wow.
That counts too. And they've got us fixated on these people. And in fact, we're so concerned about someone that speaks up getting injured or dying, if we're really in a struggle, until we justify traitors and interlopers and non-foundational black American misleadership like Barack Obama to destroy us. And, oh, well, he can't include subprime loans and the TARP money because white folks will shoot him. So let's all lose our $1 trillion worth of wealth and be homeless because we don't want him to get shot. Frankly, if I had to choose between us losing $1 trillion worth of wealth and black folks being homeless and so forth, and someone taking a shot at Obama, which they weren't going to do, I'd take the shot.
You know, Dr. Short, when you're saying that, I'm thinking about the fact that people can access all the Jet magazine issues online. It's archived online. And I remember reading the Jet magazine that came out after JFK was killed, and they actually seriously considered they actually talked about suspending the civil rights movement because President Kennedy got killed. I'm talking these so-called leaders of the civil rights movement was talking about we should suspend our movement for equality because the president was assassinated. You can look this up online. And it was surreal to read that, the Negro type of thinking.
Well, but that's not surreal for me. There's a letter that Dorothy Height and all these other people signed saying that they were against Dr. King for speaking out against the war in Vietnam, and that these people basically gave the government permission to kill Dr. King. Black people did this.
Dr. Dorothy Height, who met Dr. King at Morehouse when he was a teenager, Dr. Dorothy Height, Dorothy Height.
I didn't hear you because your phone got fuzzy.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Dr. Short?
Yeah, whatever you did, yeah.
The Dr. Dorothy Height, who actually met a teenage Dr. King at Morehouse, basically helped him to get killed. What you saying?
I'm not saying that she helped him to get killed. I'm letting you know that the black leadership in the country let the white leadership in the country know that Dr. King wasn't with them.
Okay, kind of like the Marcus Garvey was sold out by the black leadership.
He was. Well, I'm saying that they sold out. Yes, Dorsey and them did sell Dr. King out. Yes, they did. And the same people sold out Adam Clayton Powell.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you with Adam Clayton Powell being a great man. Judge Joe Brown, I don't agree with him on that one.
I let Joe Brown say that this is his show.
Right.
My thing about Adam Clayton Powell.
I'm a fan of his.
I love my mulatto. That's one of my favorite artists. And I don't care how dirty he is. He helps other people being dirty. That seems to be difficult for black politicians now. They can only be dirty for themselves. Okay.
But Dr. Shaw, I would say that Adam Clayton Powell Jr. was not necessarily corrupt. He was honest about his, about his shortcomings. He was honest about his flaws.
I love Adam Clayton Powell. I love Adam Clayton Powell. Okay?
Yeah.
So you don't have to say, look. I'm being facetious. I'm trying to say, be a dirtball for all of us.
Right.
Okay. I remember I was in charge of the Upper Bound program, and there was some ice cream. And I know my bad ghetto kids, and told them, y'all steal, but steal carefully. And I opened the thing up and get 5 or 6 of them things. That's right. Just don't carry it in front of the cashier. Put it down in your pocket. We can do the stealing together. Steal together, children. Don't you get worried. But don't put it out there. Don't eat the ice cream in front of the guard. Are you understanding me? Everybody hustles.
Right.
My thing is, but hustle together. Don't just hustle for you. If you can make millions, show me how to restart a business. Do you realize, brother, I'm going to just say this to you, Hurt, I mean it. If I can get my LLC, because I'm going to start doing stuff on human trafficking, and I can get something fired up, and I can get resources, I would call you, Ashira, and other people and say, hey, look, I got funding for a project. Y'all want to do a part of it? This is what every other people do. Let me share something with you. Black folks are too goddamn stingy. We're more white than white people are. White folk will share with at least a certain set of white folks. A black person will try to hoard it all for themselves. Not even both family members can have anything. and that's right. Like, I'll give you an example. I was in Brazil. I was in Recife, or Recife. You know, it's like it's a little tip of the Brazil that sticks out that you see in the Atlantic. So it looks like the top of a pyramid. Recife is up there. And I had a whole bunch of Chip Ahoy cookies. And I saw some homeless black kids. And, you know, I can't do much for them, but I didn't eat all these cookies. You know, I did overweight self. So I said, hey, get cookies to them. I ran to one of the kids. I gave him like 4 boxes of cookies. Do you think he would think to give 1 box and keep 3 for himself? No. He ran and hid and ate all the cookies without having to share with his crew. And I thought about it. It reminded me, I grew up with white kids. I'm glad I did. I thank God I didn't grow up in a predominantly black environment the way we are. A lot of us, should I say. Because I noticed when I lived out with white folk, if they were cool with you, if their mom baked a cake, they'd bring you a piece whether you asked them or not. All kinds of stuff. They got new toys, they'd give you their old toys. They just do it. They do it for one another, share. When I got to the city, I noticed if my friends had something really good at their house to eat, you would not see them until it was all gone. They'd tell you about it. Even if they ate at your house all the time. You understand me? There's this sense that I've had it so bad until I don't have to share or think about anybody but myself. And we make an excuse for, racism, right? I thought the rapist getting on top of a black woman. It's racism. So I'm like ripping his vagina. You have to tell the man. There's always an excuse for why we don't treat each other the way we should do. And I'm not talking about big things. Like I said, food. If they're going to go somewhere, you wouldn't see these people until they'd already done. They'd say, oh, man, we got so much fun. And they deliberately, it was about not sharing. We have this whole thing about flaunting, mocking you for what you don't have, instead of saying, let's all have, let's all get together. Let's do this. Let's share. It's possible. Other people come to this country and succeed because they're willing to share a little bit to get a little bit. We fail because we try to have it all. An Asian person will have a chicken shack next to a black person's chicken shack. The Asian people may have grease older than Methuselah. However, their price of chicken for their box will be about $5. You know how much black folks going to ask for the same box of chicken, and they don't change their oil either? $12. Now, we already know that black folks are biased to go to the other people to spend their money, right? So you got that disadvantage. And you're going to have a price that's much higher than the other person. Whose store's going to go out of business? The black person's store. Who thinks black people should come and spend 2 or 3 times what something's worth because I'm a black person doing something. We don't pay black hoes more. We don't pay black pimps more. We don't pay more black pushers more. And we don't give more to black preachers. So why is Defoe? It's as if we're completely dishonest with ourselves about what is. And said, get my frigging business and then keep my business versus trying to get $100 for a box of chicken the first time I show up. This is why a lot of black businesses fail. There's contempt and hatred for anyone that would buy from them, right? And yet you want to come and buy from them because other people hate them. Other people hate our guts and we buy from them. Instead of having a service that is superior to the next person, that's competitive in price, that provides for that community. I often see black folks have a problem about putting a sparkle on what they do for one another. We tend to treat each other exactly as the folks who hate us do and expect a different outcome. And so, and it's the same thing for black leadership. Yes, I expect you to be willing to take a bullet for me. You're my leader. Yes, I expect you to at least not have a Rolls or a Bentley if I'm taking the bus. These are basic things that a leader or leadership or people that are going to help us get somewhere would have something that we share versus being up in the air like the boule, whoever these coons are, who make decisions for you and I against our betterment without our consent. And yet the minute one of them is being taken off to jail for stealing, this is racism. In other words, all you niggas that I neglected and not rejected, come and save me. No. I would pick all of those folks up. It should be save us. Okay, so whenever I talk to you about a project or something I'm involved in, even if I can only play a small part, it is usually for a larger game, not just what I'm going to get out of it. Do you feel me?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't be happy, and I'm just telling you how I am. If I'm riding down the street in a $500,000 car and the other people eating dog food off the sidewalk, that would make me sick. And living behind the wall with security cameras and all would not take that thought out of my mind that someone has to eat out of a garbage can, and I've got more food than I can throw away.
Mm-hmm.
And we can no longer say the whitey man. Whenever I hit home, they tell me about how much they hate whitey. They're usually trying to kill blackie.
Mm.
So, anyway, that's so. As for the Kings, yes, people died in their family. Yes, I feel for them as I do for a lot of other people. I met a lady. Her name is, I think. Her name is Miss Hawkins, and she's had 3 of her sons murdered in the last 4 years. Okay, that's as many people died in the King family. Oh, then they bumped off Mrs. Coretta Scott King. They messed her up in Mexico. That's 4. Okay, let me prove the numbers. I don't know what happened with Yolanda. So 4. And by the way, the King family's been silent about Coretta Scott King being messed up in Mexico and how that went down. So you won't even fight when your mama's killed.
With the Malcolm X grandson get killed in Mexico too, right?
Yeah.
We still don't really know what happened down there with that.
Well, yeah, they have some idea. But if the mother got money from folk that helped send them down there, yeah, I said it, then it's all weird. So I'm being just...
Well, Dr. Shaw, what do you think about how they're trying to reinvent Malcolm's legacy now with these TV shows and documentaries like The Godfather of Harlem and the Netflix documentary coming out early next year and some other things?
Well, for me, they have so many biopics because they're trying to figure out how to get money because Hollywood is dying. And there's been so much porn, there's so many buttholes, nutsacks, vaginas and so forth, the boobs that you can watch before you need another one. So the thing that's making money is porn. The porn industry makes for every dollar. The regular people make, the porn folks make 3 or 4. Yeah, they make 4. So those folks are not trying to make porn. They've got to figure out a way to get people to buy their product. And they know black people will buy, although, and they've known this all along, but they'd rather us go and see boring, nasty, stupid movies about people that don't look like us. And I guess they're beginning to, with a lot of gay themes and directors and so forth, let black folks in Hollywood make stuff get black people's money because this country's demographics are shifting. Proof of that is them moving 300,000 people off the voter rolls in Georgia. Why they keep trying to do that? They keep telling you black people only 30% of the population in Georgia, and it's not going to increase in the next 30 years. It's always going to be 30%. Then why are you only taking blacks off the rolls?
And where's the old girl that ran for governor at? Is she advocating, bringing awareness to that?
Well, we have to deal with her first and foremost. Okay, Stacey Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who love Stacey, and there are people that don't. And there are people that know that Stacey is like a lot of these strong black women. They're not really that strong when they're dealing with white folks. They're usually strong when they're jumping on a black man. Yes, I said that. Black women are really great at beefing and complaining about black men and jumping on them. But you want to see a black woman be a punk, put up against white women and white men. Most black women are not fighters. It's a lie. It's all a myth. Yeah, I hope I'm angering some people in your audience because I've seen. Now, there's some black women that are fighters. There's some Harriet Tubmans, but Harriet Tubman is not a dime a dozen. She's a rare gem. She's a rare diamond. Okay, Fannie Lou Hamer is a rare diamond.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these sisters that get elevated in these positions, they're either got white lover, male or female, and typically don't like black men. That's a trend all over the country. You look up, like the one that's up in Illinois' 14th Congressional District, Underwood, and she should be called no good. They're going to get rid of her. She's going to be a one-termer because she supporting this anti-Trump stuff in a red district that she won, pandering to LGBT. And by the way, she looks like Wesley Snipes addicted to carbohydrates. And I'm sick of that. I just enjoy fighting and denigrating ignorant, sellout black feminists. They're enemies to the community in every way. And Stacey is a feminist, and therefore that nullifies anything good she can do for black people. Stacey Abrams wants to climb up the Democratic Party. I'm not knocking it. And at the same time, I'm not praising it. Okay, let's talk about something. Stacey Abrams is one of the best-known black women in the country. Why aren't they talking about this girl? What's her name? Korenz or something. It'll come to me. She's up in Wisconsin, the girl who killed her temp and set his house on fire. I don't hear all these jive-ass black women out here. When a black woman has been dishonored like this, since black men ain't shit and no black man has never done, I get it. He ain't paid child support. He hit me. He's like Mr. Okay. Let's say black men are -0. Then where are the superhero black women? Like for this girl, Santoya Brown, down in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oprah and all of these big blabby face LGBTQ black women should be fighting for these folks. They usually don't. It's interesting. Start thinking about that. Where the hell are these loudmouth black women when black women need them? It's $15 an hour. It should be $20 an hour. Black women that clean hotel rooms and stuff, the worst paid people in the country. Where is frog-looking, amphibian-looking Maxine Waters for black women?
Oh, God.
All of these folks. Such a loud voice. Then damn it, show me some power. I'm not talking about for black men, since we all know good, we all want to be with white women, right? And we all need black women at least to be under 200 pounds to go out with them. So let's just put us off and say that what they're saying about us is true. Then where are these wonderful superheroes?
They're on a Watchmen on that HBO show with Kenny King.
I'm familiar with that guy. All I can tell you is that these women with these black human trafficking is at an all-time high. Black women are maybe 200 times more likely to end up being enslaved sexually. By the way, that ugly Uncle Fester-looking broad, Karen Bass, she looks like Uncle Fester with an afro.
Mm.
She's supposed to be leading the charge to fight against the abuse of children and human trafficking. Show me a piece of legislation that these black women have fought for to protect black women. There are about 25 of them up in Congress. Don't tell me 25 representatives can't get nothing. But let a little white lesbian feminist who put a bill up, and they get all the black women co-sponsored. I mean, I look at this, and yes, I know certain people who don't like me doing this way. I don't see it. I haven't seen it. Show me. And what I'm going to say to you is all those broke-back broads up in Congress, a bunch of them are broke-back females. They never do anything for black women. Never. You can have a black mayor in Baltimore, and there'll be more black girls disappearing than ever before. They've had 3 of them. We got a black mayor in D.C. She couldn't even get her attention. The whole people crying out, do something about missing girls. We got a county executive female, first one in Prince George. Is she doing anything? No. That's Kamala Harris.
No.
They don't do anything. So it's a way to power to simply put black men down, drop kick black men. And I'm not saying don't kick black men behind when they're wrong, but what do they do right that's solution-oriented for lifting up our sisters? Not a damn thing. I can assure you, being in the Rebecca Project for Justice, when we went in and asked the women, can we, the black women, the caucus, by the way, can we help fight against breast cancer and other unfair drugs targeted towards black women? Would you please at least let us speak to you? The answer was no.
Sure, go there. After that, black girls, you want to have anything?
After that, these women get that money. I told you they get that money from. It'll give me 1 second.
What, Emily's List you talking about?
Emily's List. They get Emily's List money. They also get DNC money, other stuff. And they get money from HRC, the Human Rights Campaign.
Okay.
Basically, the gay NAACP. Actually, the white gay NAACP, because we already have the black one. So they get their money from people who hate our guts. And so as a result, no matter what happens to black women, you don't see these black women that have elected offices take any risks for black women. Now, when black men don't do, rightfully folks criticize them, as they should. But because women get a vagina pass, I have a vagina, you can't criticize me if you want some. So, and that's how the black community works. And we all want some vaginas, so no one's going to say anything about people in vagina who don't do what they're supposed to do. I don't subscribe to that. I believe everybody's equal. If you get an office, do the job well. Speaking of that, there's a hero that we need to take off the heroes list. Their name's Shirley Chisholm. She should be called Shirley Chisler. You know, Shirley Chisler was the one, and she's a Caribbean, and she stabbed all the black men in the back. Then the white lesbian stabbed her in the back. Then she came back to black people. Oh, my, how they learn. You know that there's a national abortions right something, NARAL, N-A-R-A-L. You know that one of the first people to come in and support all this baby killing was Shirley Chisler.
No, okay, but you remember...
Shirley Chisholm, when she thought she had the white feminists and all the people that wanted to kill black babies behind her, that's when she decided to run for president. And those same white women that used her to sign off on killing black babies didn't back her. Have black women figured anything out politically since 1972? Hell no. So that's what I say about Stacey Abrams. I'm not impressed. I refuse to be impressed. If Stacey Abrams was really about doing something about getting the 300,000 people being able to vote, she would do what the little project niggas in Chicago did. They would call for people to divest their money out of the state of Georgia. That same Stacey Abrams, her little, what's his name, Walter Payton-looking self with no helmet on. Let me tell you something. Stacey Abrams and all those other people fought to make certain that men could be in the women's restrooms. In North Carolina, all over, they fought so you could be in the women's restroom if you were a man, if you said you were a woman. If you can get an absurdity like that, but you can't make certain that voters who will pay taxes get on the voter rolls, you're sorry. Where are her gay allies? Where are all the gay allies? Where's John Lewis's bald-headed pancreatic cancer having behind when this is going on? He's up talking about gerrymandering everywhere else, and he's silent about his own state. Why? Where's Sanford Bishop? Where's that little sorry Hank Johnson? They said he used to have hepatitis C. It looks like he's coming back. Okay, I'm just tired of these people. They can't take these people on. They can't go to the UN. They can't have a divestment and say, hey, Jack Kemp, whatever his name, Kemp, we're going to tank the bonds for the state of Georgia if y'all do this. The one thing white folks care about is money. Right. All they do is care about is money. Then go to money. Why are you sitting up talking about morality? How many people talk to hoes about morality, or pimp, or pusher, or landlord? If you're not talking about cash, they don't care. So why are people talking about, what's right? When have white folks ever done what's right in relationship to black people? And why would they have to? They're not going to get our help, right?
Well, I want to go back to the Shirley Chisholm thing. I think it's an interesting thing because I know I talk to people about this all the time. But you had like a person like Margaret Sanger, the Klanswoman and the founder of Planned Parenthood. She had the support of people like Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois and Dr. King, and even Planned Parenthood sought the advice of Malcolm X on how to market or target black people as it relates to their agenda. And this has been well documented. So it's a complex thing when we kind of cherry pick people's choices or decisions.
It's complex. Here's the thing I'd say to you that's interesting. Mm-hmm. If I ever tell you something that's factually incorrect in your show and I find out it is, I'll call you back and I tell you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I made an error because I don't want to give out bad information. Mm-hmm. Once Shirley Chisholm found out how she got used by the white lesbians, in particular, ugly, she looks like the Frito Bandito with the facial, Bella Abzug. Once they had Shirley Chisholm in the back, little ugly, greasy, gefilte fish spelling lesbian. When she came back, she never ever acknowledged, I stabbed the black men in the Democratic Party in the back, thinking that I didn't need them to run for president. And these folks turned out that they were white first and they weren't women first, the same way most white women voted for Trump. Mm-hmm. She never did it. She went to her grave not talking about it.
Well, one person I respect that was a black woman that did not trust the white feminists. She knew what they were about from day one was Fannie Lou Hamer. Like, she's off the plantation and knew that you can't trust them people.
Yeah, well, Fannie Lou Hamer was with no education and she could tell.
Right.
By the way, what I was going to say to you, but hold on. When Fannie Lou Hamer went to fight against eugenics in 1972, Fannie Lou Hamer was fighting against Shirley Chisholm.
Wow. Interesting.
So, yeah.
And she was sterilized by the state, too, against her will, right? The state of Mississippi sterilized Fannie Lou Hamer without her knowledge.
She was sterilized, as were hundreds of thousands of other people. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Greek letter organizations and all supported this thing done to black women. Yes, they did. The Boule.
That was about Dr. King. He Boule, right? Alpha man.
All of the black folks who are successful hate the ones who are unsuccessful and don't want you to be successful either. Go figure.
Ain't that something? We got messed up.
And you heard about, I was talking to a Shira about Dame Dash.
Now, tell me about it. Inform us. What's your take on that?
Dame Dash, I don't even follow him that much. My thing is to just say to you, the thing that's more interesting to me was Bill Cosby's publicist attacking Eddie Murphy.
Andrew White, yeah.
He attacked Eddie Murphy harder than the white woman that lied on Bill Cosby. And so, yes, I said it. And just look the brother up. How come you can't find his public relations firm online? It's hard to find. You're representing a person worth $500 million and you don't have a website that people can find?
That's why he's in jail now. I mean, because he had the bad people around him. He had bad choice of people around him.
Yeah, but there's a key person, the same person that attacked Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. If he knows what he's doing, Bill Cosby should at least be on release or appeal. There's something wrong with that whole thing.
Exactly.
Eddie Murphy was funny. It was good to me. I enjoyed it, especially the Mr. Rogers thing.
About justification, Mr. Robinson,
It was boss, and I don't really care. And Eddie Murphy seems to be mellowing out now that he's with the white woman.
But Dr. Short, I don't think people understand Eddie Murphy did show Cosby respect. He had to address that issue because of their history, but he didn't do no full-blown skit on Cosby. He just made a little riff. Like he did a whole skit where he just really down Cosby.
But you
yeah,
see,
you know, when I first started hearing about it, I was like, okay, so what did he say?
Right.
And, I mean, it really wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be.
It was Bill Cosby's publicist who's trying to get some attention for himself. Now, you're a publicist. You're supposed to know how to get attention. You got Bill Cosby behind in jail as a client, and you're trying to get attention. You're a failure.
It's like a bodyguard, like Tupac bodyguards. They looking for the camera when they should be looking out for him. They all looking at the camera and crap, and they keeping their eyes on him.
Bill Cosby's being betrayed, I assure you. Bill Cosby's being betrayed, and he's being betrayed by the Boule and everybody else. So just say this to you. If not even someone like Betty Boop, a.k.a. Roland Martin, he does look like Betty Boop.
Yeah.
Well, why do you call him Betty Boop Short?
Yeah, why?
why are we calling him Betty Boop?
Yeah, or roll over Martin or Betty Boop.
I mean, is it his curls? I mean,
he got an interesting shaped head. I'll tell you that.
He does look like Betty Boop, and Betty Boop was the black Boop Boopsy Doo was a black woman they stole.
Yeah.
So Betty Boop. Not one black journalist in all this time has sat down to talk to Bill Cosby. Just to try to explain anything, his kids, somebody. Or write up or do an investigative piece. The entire so-called black media has been silent. Why? And that they're afraid that if Bill Cosby can be railroaded and no one can say anything, then all the rest of us can be killed. This is why we have to disrespect all these people. Even little phony foreigners like Fraud Reed. Remember, I don't know, she's been hearing your jokes on your channel, man. Remember I used to ride her hair? It looked like she had a beaver on her head. It's a roadkill. She was looking sexy. Ooh, Joy Reid looked like she wasn't even from Africa when I saw her the other day. She said, oh, my God. I'm sure she actually looked like she went to a real black beauty salon. The first time is, I felt like singing Shalmar, second time around, right? or save the best for last. She had a little ignorant feminist out there with all the lies about black folks being Russian bots. And I didn't know that was my reason. That's the first time she hasn't looked homely to me. Because, come on, you live in Tennessee. You see roadkill on the side of the road. What is that? A highway 120? The 120. What's the highway that goes from Nashville through Jackson down to Memphis? What's the name of that? 88? 86? What is it?
It's like I want to say the right name. Go ahead. We know what you're talking about. It's not called 385.
Highway 55.
It is 60. Okay, Highway 50, no, it's not
55.
Nah, 55 goes to the St. Louis way. Go that way. No. It's like 385, but it turns to something else. But we know what you're talking about. We'll put it in later.
From County all the way down to West Tennessee and into Mississippi. Anyway, all I'm going to say to you, you've seen lots of roadkill living in Tennessee. You have, both of you. And that's how Joy Reid's hair used to look. I used to talk about Joy Reid's hair. I was sorry, this stuff like Bro Dr. Trigger. And when I saw her hair, I think our jokes had finally reached them. If nothing else, we got people sprucing up their television on air appearance. We should give ourselves a big pat on the scrotum. Well, not pat who hard, but we should be very happy. I saw Joy Reid. Oh my God! Someone even did her makeup. I was like, wow. Now I see why she's married, because before I decided sticking, she looked like one of them angry girls at the bar that can't get a dance. So I don't know. I'm serious. I don't know if that was her hair or a new wig or her and Maxine are competing or something. Even in fact, Maxine Waters had a new wig at Elijah Cummings' funeral. I was really impressed. I'm telling you. That thing was so bright, it could have generated solar power. It could have taken care of all of Mexico. Yeah, and John Lewis was walking around like Mr. Tudball off the Carol Burnett show. Remember him? Tim Conway just died, by the way. John Lewis was walking around like Mr. Turnbull at Elijah Cummings' funeral, like he was confused. He didn't know where he was going. Or like he wanted to climb up in the casket and get with Elijah. I didn't know. Anyway, I won't miss some of these boomers that didn't do right by us. And let me see. Talk to me. What's some other questions? Oh, by the way, notice how the only thing working in Baltimore is the football team.
Yeah.
Everything else is just jacked up.
Yeah.
And there's a thing about Baltimore. I'm going to tell you my joke. And people from Baltimore are very proud. And there's like this Hutu Tutsi thing between Baltimore and D.C. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
I never heard anything really. I have cousins and family and roots in Baltimore. I'm sort of thinking badly about Baltimore. I just learned this lately. And so my joke is there are people at a 3-story building that's on fire, 4-story building, whatever, a tall building. And there's a guy from Philly, guy from Washington, a guy from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
The fire department comes up, sends up a long ladder to bring the people down, or at least to drop them into the blanket thing that they're holding to catch them. So the first guy that the fireman gets, this guy from Philly, and the guy from Philly, they're so cool. Says, man, you promise me you're not going to drop? And the guy says, yes. Okay, you sure? Says, I'm sure you won't drop. Okay, so he gets him down. Then he comes in, the next person's from D.C., and D.C. person says, you think they'll be able to save some of our stuff in this place? Says, well, sir, it's a 4-alarm fire. We don't know about that, but we know we can get you out of here safely. So he takes him down. It comes up the third time, this guy from Baltimore, and the guy says, are you from D.C.? So you would rather be burnt up than so from D.C. do something, anything, even if their life counted. It's like, wow. It almost reminds me of being down in Tennessee when I learned I was a Northerner. That really blew my mind. I still can't get, having been called a collard green and biscuit-eating nigger in Boston for being a Southerner there, to learn in Tennessee that I was a Northerner was, like, shocking.
Interesting.
But can y'all explain that to me? What makes somebody from Virginia a Northerner to a person from Tennessee?
I don't know, because we both, Tennessee touches Virginia, so I don't. Virginia to me is the South.
So see, well, you're enlightened. So what are the dumb people down there thinking? I
don't know. That's kind of strange. You got Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia, so we touching each other.
I'm doing a genealogical project on a person who has family in both cities.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I need to go back into the library and do some work for dudes. So, anyway, keep it moving. We want to talk about Oprah Winfrey and this Me Too thing. We should talk about Dame Dash. And I was thinking,
Dr. Shaw, you come in. I want to speak out. We can't hear you, Harlan. Can you speak up a little bit? Kind of hard to hear you.
I don't really know much about Dame Dash, and I probably don't care. Okay. But I'm just looking at how Oprah Winfrey and that woman that looks like, she looks like a dinosaur version of KRS-One. It's like KRS-One has stuck with the female Tyrannosaurus, and this is out. She does look like a female. Yes, she looks like a mulatto Tyrannosaurus, part human, part dinosaur. The meteorite didn't hit her. T-Rex. She does look like a T-Rex with the goddamn arms. It just, I don't know. I mean, to me, she should feel like Powerball if anybody did touch her. She's really not becoming. And so I'm just thinking, and I don't know what it is. Her and Oprah. Now, Oprah was a fat girl. And my thing is there something, because when you look on TV, and I'm not trying to pick, they don't have fat white women on television. I don't know if black women notice that the only people allowed to be on TV that's fat are black women. And I kind of consider that an insult, because if they have a Hispanic woman, she won't be fat. Asian woman won't be fat. Like, there's a morning show, and the black female host on there is bigger than all of her colleagues. They have to almost get to her own table to sit on other things. And I was thinking, you know what? I would immediately feel out of place if I was the size of all of my hosts put together. Like, they were trying to do a group hug, and all of the white women had to all get next to each other to touch the black lady. She was too big for them to put their arms around. And I just don't folk notice that. Like, even the black dude, remember Willard, not Willard, but the black dude, Roker.
Al Roker, yeah.
Even Roker realized, I have to lose weight. Because they were giving him more about being fat. But they don't do that to black women. And there's a lack of accountability, and it's part of that is fueling a rebellion that you don't have to fit in any norms because you're a black woman. But at the same time, they mock black women for being big.
I'm thinking about Lizzo when you say all that. I'm thinking about the Lizzo situation.
Lizzo.
Let's talk about Lizzo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, this Lizzo person, I am not impressed. It's not about big girl shaming with her. It's just that she is pushing an image that women are sleazy, trashy, calling each other bitch and all that. That's not what we're about. And if you notice how these Nicki Minaj's and who is somebody else? Rihanna, even though Rihanna, she's, changed somewhat, in her older years. But a lot of these women, they're not American. These are Caribbean women. And then and they're portraying themselves or being portrayed as black women. And that's not what we represent. We don't. Lizzo, now, I hear she's from Houston and Michigan and all of this. But I guarantee you, if you check her lineage, that girl comes from somewhere else, her family. I mean, to me, she's just trashy. And what she did at that Lakers game, now, keep in mind, when Janet Jackson performed with, what's his name? The Timberlake boy. Yeah. Right. And everyone was complaining about Janet. Oh, that's horrible. She showed her nipple at the Super Bowl. But then you allow the big girl, Lizzo, to get up here with her ass out, shaking around, and that was at a game. But no one said anything about her. Right. What, Performer of the Year. Why? Because she supports LGBTQ LMNOP. So she's allowed to go on stage, shake her ass, and be vulgar. So I have a problem with that. Now, what do you guys think? I want to hear from some men.
All right, I'm glad to hear your perspective. That was very refreshing to hear your point of view. But go ahead, Dr. Short. You want to chime in?
And the thing is it reminds me of the Where's the Beef commercial. Remember that one?
Yeah, Wendy's. Yeah.
And the thing was a big fluffy bun. You don't even have a tight, juicy behind. The thing is flabby. You need to do some bun crunches, Lizzo. I mean, a sloppy Joe, pour it composited behind that if you're gonna put it out there. At least let the stuff be firm. Frankly, it's like getting a hamburger and the piece breaks off because they didn't form it right. Thinking about her behind the polish. I mean, if I have to see it, I'm going to talk about it. So since you put it out there, and by the way, the black did nothing for her. It looked almost like poop was falling out of her behind. So had she worn something of a lighter color, at least it would have accentuated. So, one, if I just had to be one of these penis-minded, weak-minded black dudes where, assholes rule the world, I would have to say I would give her behind a C-. She almost has a white girl's ass on top of that. Yes, she has what they call a woody, a fat white girl booty. Not a real black bootylicious Michelle Obama booty. The kind of...
Well, the thing about it is...
I'm just being carnal. She has an unimpressive booty. I won't even get into her music.
Well,
And
I'm not even looking at her booty. She's just disgusting and vulgar.
No, but we're going to get to discussing. I just want to trash poor presentation of the behind. If you're going to hang it out there, at least have it in shape. For it to be breaking up like old oatmeal cookies from the dollar store that the Asians run, that's sad. You need to cover up the ass because it wasn't good to look at. In fact, it's probably it was probably
and then Cardi B. That's who I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of all of these off-brand people, these Nicki Minaj's and Cardi B's, and
these are foreign hoes.
We can't even get a Lauryn Hill anymore. I mean, can you just give us a Jersey girl? Someone dropping some knowledge in them. Yeah.
But I just want to say that Lizzo was trifling. Lizzo, but again, I have to finish. When you have a sloppy Joe ass, please cover it up, lady. If it's not one
we're going to call her Liz Ho. That's her new name.
She probably likes it, though, actually.
She probably would like that. She probably would.
She's awful. So the hair, at least it's natural, I think. But who does she look like? She actually looks like, I'm trying to think. Do you know who she reminds me of? Rerun from What's Happening.
Okay.
And he probably had
Rerun from What's Happening.
That's really awful, and that's the man. Just so Lizzo needs to go to the gym. You can be fat, but you can have a behind. You don't want those little hip things and develop that behind. Or do like the white women do. Wear the underwear that gives shape to your behind since you don't really have it. So,
I mean, just don't have your ass out. We don't want to see that.
Well, no, that's why she'd have to cover it up to wear the stuff that we give her behind. So, Lizzo, shithole, whatever you call yourself, you're I've worked in old folks' home. I've seen old folk, who are all bombed out on the drugs that keep them in so they'll just stay in their room. They had better butt than you do. So cover it up. I don't, maybe you can sing, but a lot of people can sing, and I don't know how much carpet you had to eat or whatever body fluids you had to swallow for you to get to where you are. But you know what? It ends faster than it starts. So she has to think about how long.
I hear she's pretty talented. She can play the flute and all of that. I mean, so she could have just got on stage and played the flute like India Arie.
She would have a flute. You could probably use it as a sex toy. Something would be something more. She needs to go away. I'm sick of that. In fact, you know who I want to talk about? I'm a Girl. Translation Pharrell. And it works. I'm a Girl, Pharrell, right? Did you see him where he looked like a broom or something? His hair's dyed. And now I know when he's saying I'm happy, it could be I'm sissy, da-da-da-da-da, getting hit in my boots. I'm a sissy, da-da-da-da-da. I don't like one.
Damon Dash accused of sexual battery in $50 billion lawsuit.
$50 billion, wow.
We don't care.
$50 million. $50 million.
Okay.
Well, he's not going to get that. Look, let me tell you.
He's running around here claiming broke now anyway.
Well, he probably is broke. If he had to go in and fight Tyler Perry for a little bit of money, he gave him.
Lee Daniels, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or Lee Daniels. Oh, that's someone else.
Lee Daniels.
How come there's no Me Too for gay folk? How could I know they demanded, you're going to give me this guy.
Well, it was a Me Too, but Kevin Spacey killed it, though.
That's one, that's what I'm saying. That's we're talking about, at least there should be one black person like Tony Medina, somebody get in trouble. Penny Medina.
Well, you had African Bambaataa that was accused by people of raping or molesting or whatever he was doing.
Dude always looked like Aretha Franklin with them hats on. Just no. I never liked him. I never bought anything he had. I never paid attention to him. He did that song called Unity with James Brown, and I remember seeing a video of that, and that was the first and last time I saw anything that Africa Bambaataa did. And they act like if people are Muslim, that everybody's on the up and up. I don't believe that.
Also, Michael Jackson. So you have a Me Too, but it's always black man as the boogeyman with Michael Jackson, or African Bambaataa or something like that. They always accusing these people.
But see, African Bambaataa did something. Michael Jackson didn't know what to do with that, and that's a mistake. He should have fought. That was really foolish. Let me pull this thing up. I want to go back to talking about Shirley Chisholm for a moment. I know that's going to get me in trouble, Shirley.
Yeah, she's a iconic, strong black woman. But she did have respect for
but she's a foreign black woman. She's a foreign black woman. I got to mess with her. Okay.
You didn't tell me Barbara Jordan, though. What about Barbara Jordan? What you thought about her? What you thought about Barbara Jordan?
Who?
Sister Barbara Jordan, out of Texas, out of Houston.
Oh, Barbara Jordan, she's a lesbian. She died with a white woman.
But did she make that a part of her agenda? Did you really think she was pushing that as a public figure?
No, you know what? The thing I liked about Barbara Jordan or Robert Jordan, or whatever you want to call it, is that she, that immigration thing she put down was awesome.
Okay.
I mean, she was on point with immigration.
But then you know who succeeded her, though, in her seat, right, in her congressional seat? Who succeeded Barbara Jordan?
Oh, God.
Mickey Leland. We don't talk about him no more, man.
They bumped him off, and then...
Oh, of course they did. Mm-hmm.
And then they put in...
Al Green. Sheila Jackson Lee. You know how they people like... They replaced Adam Clayton Powell Jr. with who? Who they replaced Adam Clayton Powell Jr. with?
Henrietta Hippo.
I'll call him Mr. Pringles. Okay, Charlie Rango. Yes.
Who?
They replaced Clayton Powell with Charlie Rango. Remember when they got him out his seat?
Yeah, Charles Rango.
See how they do our leadership? They got rid of Fred Hampton and they elevated Jesse Jackson.
What you mean, Bobby Rush, who looks like a Baphomet goat? He looks like
why you gonna say
he does look like a Baphomet goat. Yes, he does. Yes,
I didn't. I don't comment.
Yes, you know it's the truth.
Then a Baphomet goat. You know what?
He said,
you know he claimed now, he claimed that they were coming for him the next morning.
How did he know that? Told him. It's not true. He's in military intelligence.
Yeah, he did have an army background or military background.
Come out, they know all about it, and that's why they keep him there. That's why he can't get in trouble.
You know, he went to Jesse Jackson, I believe, to turn himself in to the authorities, which is interesting.
Say that again?
He went to Jesse Jackson and helped him turn himself in. Like, he turned himself in to help.
He went to the agent to handle. And Jesse Jackson said, I might be a snitch, but I am somebody.
All right.
When he died, when Jesse died, he would get a state funeral.
I would wear my wire. I was not trying to record him. I was trying to get the essence of Dr. King's message for this country.
He is too good, man. I was
not a snitch because I wanted riches. I was a snitch because I wanted to be great and to do something for this country, to change the economy, the economics of our community. It was very simple back in the movement, but now we're in the move that we have to pull our synergy to manipulate the clitoris of this society, wherein we can move up to take ourselves to the level that we need to be in. Dr. King and others that have died, we have walked over their graves to become rich men. Can you imagine if you start telling the truth and shit?
You need to write for Dave Chappelle, man. Why he ain't gonna hire you, man? He need to hire you.
Well, you have to ask him. You have to ask him. I don't know. But then again, funny isn't, I don't know, people are strange. Then again, I don't like smoke. I don't think I can handle lots of smoking. But I do think we're going to be changed. By the way, what do you think? Tell me what you think about John Lewis from Atlanta, Georgia.
I met John Lewis. I actually gave him an award. I don't know. I gave him and Andrew Young an award. We all lifetime.
You did?
Award.
Did it look like a petroleum jelly jar?
You know, Atlanta is interesting, man, because them cats, man, them civil rights legends live like movie stars down there. They're so revered, and they in the phone book. Like you could, look up Reverend C.T. Vivian at one point, get him on the phone and visit him. He didn't know who you was. You come to his house and you feel all protected. Them cats, it's different now. It's a different mindset to me. It's fascinating. Like John Lewis, he could work with a T.I. or we call that guy Young Jeezy. He could be at a Joe Biden rally and be respected, and you got Killer Mike and doing what he doing. Atlanta is a different type of situation for black folks.
This is the consolidation of black leadership within the Democratic Party rubric. It's falling apart. Mm-hmm. I'm doing what little I can as an ordinary person to jack it up. Mm-hmm. And then other people. This stay-home movement, this Dems dump, we out for Trump. Not that we worship Trump, but something has to shake up the leadership. These people stayed too long. Mm-hmm. I'm 54. I'll be 55. I know a lot of people, they never even got a chance because the boomers who are like 30 years older than us, they never, ever, ever, ever made room. They didn't have it. They expected to live forever. So some of them dying is cool. Like, I'm not upset. Let a whole bunch of them go. I mean, let me tell you something. I was up in Congress a couple of days ago, and even when I was at Elijah Cummings' funeral, if you saw how sickly our black elected officials looked in person, how unhealthy many of them are, how they've been there so long, how weak these people are. It looks more like an emergency room than a Congress. This is like a ghetto. I mean, the only difference is somebody hasn't been shot, unfortunately. Just the people, they're old, they're out of touch, they're entrenched, they got a million medical problems. I mean, if you look at Eleanor Holmes Norton, the congressional delegate from D.C., she's got feet. I'm telling you, they look like, have you ever seen dodo bird feet? They have the long part in the back, and they look like dodo bird feet with shoes on. I'm telling you. Just the feet got bunions in it. I mean, they're bigger than the Mount Rushmore. I mean, just go home. You've been out here. You got retirement you got multiple streams of retirement. Go out and play Keno. Go out and gamble your money away, off a FICA. And let someone else do something, And the woman's head, it looks like, cotton candy. I mean, they tinted the shit so much till it looks bad. But serious. I mean, you got moles and stuff that look like raisins and such. I mean, skin look all bad. Why? I mean, you sit up and you drink all day and raise money to stay in office and not do anything. And you always talk about the 60s. Most people weren't even living then. And by the way, most people living now don't give a damn about the 60s.
And then they're talking about what they did in the 60s, and hell, they didn't do shit.
Well, they did, but that's actually, they shouldn't say what they really mean, who you did. There's a lot of boning back in the movement.
Dr. Shaw, you said that I had talked to some veteran from the Freedom Summer Project back in '64, and she would tell me how they used to have these sex houses where they would do all this interracial sex and orgies because we never know when we're going to get killed from moment to moment. We just had to rub on each other and grind for freedom and love.
Yeah.
I'm not even laughing. It's funny.
Julian Bond and all of them, that's what they're about them because, the movement. They don't say movement like you and I. Movement. It's like bowling.
Oh, my God.
And Dr. King. And the eyes get all big. And so when you hear them talking about the movement, and so that was an opportunity for people like John Lewis to get with the white man or white woman or whatever. And they really loved that, and the white folk liked it too. I'm looking at this. This is the, let me pull this thing up, because I'm going to come back to Shirley Chisler.
While you're doing that, we do have two greats whose birthdays are coming up. We have Dr. Ben, whose birthday is the 31st, and then the Honorable Dr. John Henry Clark's birthday is January the 1st.
Sounds like Dr. John Hope Franklin is in there too. I think he's January 2nd, if not the 1st.
And you know what?
He's a historian.
And what's his name? I knew Hope Franklin. The person that what's his name? Cab Calloway's 112th birthday was Christmas Day.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's going on with that, Dr. Schultz? Can you tell us something about what's going on with the
effort to save his home? Over this house thing. There's a group of people, I'll just tell you, there's some mafia people that want to knock his house down. And it is. Some mafia people, some corrupt stuff. And I'm not going to say much about that because I don't want to get into, I don't want to hurt the project by saying anything. But we're fighting. And when I go back to Baltimore, I'll do what I can do. And what is this thing called? The National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Laws. NARROW. Here we go. And I'm looking at it. And I'm looking at this thing, NARROW. 350 people in 1969, so 50 years ago. And there'll be, where is that Betty Friedan? Ooh, I can't stand her. By the way, a lot of these people are Jewish, but that's not what I'm going for. NARROW. And when they go, where is this person that they go to? Here it is. The board of directors elected by the membership officially replaced the planning committee for the first board meeting, was held September 27, 1967. The board elected the honorary officers and co-presidents of Dr. Lester Breslow and Congresswoman Shirley Chisler. She was a co-president of the Kill the Babies movement. Shirley Chisler.
But Dr. Short.
I'm telling you, all I can tell you is when, and Shirley Chisholm always did kind of look like a moose cookie to me. I mean, it's just. But anyway.
Hey, I already know we're going to get a lot of interesting comments about your thing about Shirley Chisler, as you call her. But also,
yes, I'm going to mess with her. And she's not me, so I'm just swinging.
Oh, no. Anybody's fair game. I agree with you. You got a right to express yourself, and people got to do their own research. Like, I want to encourage people to research.
Shirley Chisler. You started this they needed a black face to kill these babies. But and by the way, from the babies, killing of the babies, you got all this stuff came from this. It's just continued. Okay. And so we as a people have lost 15 to 20 million people, and if we had reproduced one at a time, we'd be 100 million people right now. You don't forgive things like that. So, I don't give a damn about an ignorant person in your audience. I don't like...
people they don't know.
But to me, then shut up and listen.
Oh, wait, well,
I'm not saying that to you.
I had
some Negro call me from England the other day to tell me something erroneous he wanted to debate, and I did a John Henry Clark. I don't debate my inferiors. I lecture them. You don't know what I do. You call me from England, and then you want to go back and forth with me? Just because you had some of these little stupid cultic religions, worshiping some psychedelic Kotek somewhere, and you think that that's God for you, I should care about you? No, I don't. In fact, I'm going to disrespect you and your religion. Because he said something dumb to me about Christianity. I had someone who said something dumb to me. I had to deal with this Muslim person today.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say yesterday, the person made a comment to me that the Bible was corrupted and it was written by white people because it was in Greek and all this stuff. And I said to him, well, excuse me, Mr. Muslim, if the Bible's all jacked up Doesn't the Quran have some of the Bible in it? Yes, but the good parts. Well, how do I know if the Bible's fucked up? I wouldn't want anything from it at all. I mean, wait a minute. You have the only God, and he's the only one with the revelation, right? Why would the God with the only revelation take a piece of something that was corrupt that existed before? Isn't that kind of mean to say your God is all-knowing, to pick something corrupted from someone else? But this is your argument, not mine. I can't think about the dumb shit you said to me. Then I said something else. Excuse me. And she says, well, you push of the Trinity. I'm not going to talk about like I made this stuff up. That I would come up with a stupid concept. They come in, you Christians follow the Trinity. We Muslims don't understand. And so my response was, well, I don't understand. Says, well, why don't you understand the Trinity? Allah has 3 daughters. And he went off, right? That's antiquity. I says, wait a minute, how old is Allah? If Allah is ageless, then Allah's back in antiquity, right? With the damn 3 daughters that he had. So either there's an Allah that starts when Muhammad decides to pick Allah over all the other gods in the Kaaba, which means to know who was the God that spoke to him when the Quran was revealed. If that's the old Allah, then that's the one with the daughters. Unless there's a new one that you got rid of the daughters with. He blocked me on Facebook.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
But he told me, well, that's antiquities. Of course. He said your God is ageless. That means he's ancient. Antiquities, ancient, exactly. So if he's, and my thing is how come that God has a different name from the one in the Bible if we all have the same prophets and everything? You keep telling me what something is, and then you tell me something else. Then you get violent if I ask a question, so I have to believe what you say just on your word. Nah, you can have that. And I see a lot of, I mean, if I think the church people are jacked up, oh my God, all these other religious groups, now you got folk out there stabbing Jews and such. You realize I won't be able to get a good corned beef sandwich if I go to Brooklyn behind these Hebrews stabbing and others. What's wrong with these people?
We all Dr. Shaw, I was going to say, though, if you look at a lot of our heroes, and Hebrews and Hebrews, a lot of them are flawed or humans. Like I look at Dr. T.I.M. Howard, who's from Mound Bayou, who was with this black man at one point in Mississippi, who was he did abortions. Thank you. That's what I was going to get to. But also he helped mentor Medgar Evers, Charles Evans, Fannie Lou Hamer. He helped give the seed money to Star Jesse Jackson's organization in Chicago. He did. Raised money for Malcolm X's family when he got assassinated. He did so many great things for black people. But he believed in eugenics and abortions.
Yes, and my point is he's not God, he's a man. Mm-hmm. And all I want is for us to be honest.
Okay.
Killing black babies is not our solution. You can kill them, but you're a killer. You murdered someone black. There's no way around it. Period. That's where I stand. Okay? And for all this baby killing that we've done, are we black people better off having opened up the Pandora box of the life isn't a life? It's interesting. Mm-hmm. It used to be something where black babies were wanted, and now black babies have no value.
Well, did we not have incidents in slavery? Chattel slavery was, the mother would kill the baby to keep them from living a life of slavery. I mean, we have those type of examples, correct?
Yeah, but obviously our population was growing then rapidly, and now our population is growing very slowly because we're killing so many. So there are a lot of folks that didn't kill their babies. So no disrespect to you. For those that did that, and that was such a minority, but why would we pick a place where now girls take selfies of going in an abortion clinic like it's no serious thing to kill the baby versus a woman that really thought about wanting to give the best life to her children not being able to do it? It's a very different situation, even though the action is the same.
The system doesn't value black life, though. I mean, the system does not respect or value black life.
Yeah, but it's even cheaper now. I think we have less value for black life than we've ever had, and a large part of it has to do with a life isn't a life. A baby doesn't deserve anything. It's just something that needs to be scrambled out and killed. And there are a whole lot of black women that are sterilized after they get their abortions. These people mess them up or they die later. And they're killing black women when they have them in the hospital. We need to have our babies at home. There's just nothing you can say to me. We need every single solitary black child to be born that's possible. And if you don't want them, give them to somebody. There are a lot of people out here that like to adopt children. They can't. And or they can't have children. There are a whole bunch of these little asshole.
They call gay people, right? They call them gay people.
Let me finish. We have a lot of asshole professional black women that were too busy to even look at a black man until they're about 50, and they say, "Oh my God, I need to get married." As if men are going to wait around holding their nuts until you get 50 to decide that you want to be with someone, and they may want a child. There are people who want to have these kids. We should have them. Have the babies. Let's take sex from being swallowing, bowel movement, and all this stuff. Black people have made sex nasty, dirty, filthy, trashy, commercial. We've become a sewer as a people. Atlanta's a good example, and judgment's going to start the capital of black America when you start seeing black men and women dying and getting sick from all this filth that goes on down there.
What's headquartered in Atlanta, though? The Centers for Disease Control, right?
Yeah, but that's not. The Centers for Disease Control can't make 15 black men put their mouths on each other's rectums and make a centipede. They're not doing that. At some point, you can't blame Whitey for everything. When these people put up videos of them screwing in the park, men, women, all this stuff, the Center for Disease Control didn't do that. That's the foulness and wickedness in the hearts of many of our people. We need God. We need a moral revolution in our country. We need to clean up, or we're going to screw and disease ourselves out of existence, and it can too happen. If you don't think that you can't whore, orgy, and fag yourself out of existence, you need to do some research on what happened to the Buddhist community in India. They literally hoard themselves out of existence. It can too happen, and that's why they're pushing it, and we need to push back against it. Am I saying the individual person that just needs to get a taser in their booty, that they're the problem? No. We're talking about systemic, state-sponsored, and other forces colluding to make this stuff happen.
So we can't blame Whitey still, that's what you're saying?
Oh, well, no, we can blame Whitey somewhat, but let's be honest. With all the white supremacy in the world, do you need another brother's bowel movement or nutsack in your mouth to feel like someone cares about you? Really? Even though they control all the media and the radio and they've got the coon preachers and everyone else, do you want someone's bowel movement in your mouth? I don't think so. So, and I'm being saturated and bombarded by the same garbage, and I don't want it. So, to me, why do we have to be so damn weak? When black folks were enslaved, where there were no black colleges or universities or educated people, how could some of them want dignity even when it's almost impossible to find? And why do we throw it in the mud, the scum that we become? We're not even trying to be upright. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm talking about being a teacher, and the teachers, talk about blunts and all to the kids, trying to be cool instead of be their damn teacher. Or pastors that dumb stuff down, everything's screaming and shouting instead of any conversation about anything that's for real. Why can't we be higher? Why does everything have to be base, dirty, and nasty, so-called keeping it real? Says who? And I'll tell you something. When the people start getting these diseases, which they already have, like the little punk that died from ESPN last week, 32 years old, down in Atlanta.
On his birthday, 34.
Right, wavy here. I know somebody wants to jump on that. Okay. And he had a girlfriend bringing them soup in the hospital. I wonder who else was bringing them something. Okay. The wages of sin is death. We want to do whatever we want. I gotta have sex with everybody. I just have this thing up on my board. They had a party yesterday. I'm gonna pull it up. I should send it to you. They had, every now and then when I see something really nasty, I go in and check out people, see what they're doing. And they had a big party, and they're saying, come and screw all you want. Don't be held back. Just all banging it. Literally. And they have these little handbills. Maybe you've seen them, Ashira. Bring your lube. And just, it's a black flesh part. And they're pushing this stuff, right? Let me tell you something. These same white people that don't want to fund Obamacare, if you think that they're going to put their good money on a bunch of black hedonistic folks that need to screw everyone, y'all got another thing coming. They'll let us die by the millions. In fact, they'll be glad that we killed ourselves off being tramps. The best defense you have is to be a moral, upright person. Here it is. I took a screenshot of this because people will think that you don't like folks. Here it is. This is 2019. Make it talk. They're talking about the penis here. Y'all made the party, every party, a huge success for interrogate and entertainment. So we want to spend our 2-year freakiversary with you, the only way we know how, with the big ass dick and fat wet boy pussy fucking balls through the walls. Saturday, December 28th. Send pictures to Make It Talk for invite for consideration. So if you don't have the right size penis or behind, you can't come. This is what people are doing. I think this is Cash App accepted, music, drinks, condoms, lube. This is what's going on in Atlanta and D.C. and L.A. And if y'all think I'm not going to curse this for the filth it is, go to hell. Again, with the big ass dicks and fat wet boy pussy fucking balls to the walls. This is what this thing says. I'm not saying people can't do that, but with all this stuff out here, who's pushing this? And these are black people that do this. So when the diseases come, if you think that white folks are going to pay for it, and if you think other people are going to want to pay premiums on other people's hedonism, you're out of your mind. They're not going to do it. They're going to let people die of their diseases. And a lot of black folks don't realize that a lot of folks on the chain gangs that died had sisters from raping each other because they were all chained together. We've been here before, black folks. At some point, we're going to have to decide better for one another. And better means some restraints, some rules, some control. When something's out of control, a good example of something out of control, uncontrolled growth, cellular growth is called a cancer. What's uncontrolled sexual hunger and ravaging on flesh? Mother Nature has a way to check such people. It will come up with things, and as fast as people find a cure, just go and do your research. You'll find the doctors don't even know how to make stuff to keep up with the diseases mutating and changing. It's almost as if God, every time they come up with a cure, the Creator makes something new that they can't control to kill them that way. And they can say centers for disease control, but I'll tell you something. If we weren't having parties like this one, then the other things that they made out there to kill us wouldn't work. I've lived in a neighborhood full of drugs. I ain't never bought nothing, never going to buy anything. If we weren't using, if we weren't smoking, if we elected to not do some of this, they'd have to find something else. Or actually, it would end up in their community like it is now. And I'm not saying we're the only ones, but I'm primarily concerned about us. All the niggas say, white people have diseases too. I can't stand coons that always need to mix white people and the black people stuff. You know what? If you get in a hot tub, there needs to be some white people in the hot tub. You know, they say, white folks use fentanyl. Why is everything compared to everybody else? Do you compare your butthole to the next person? Do you compare your penis to the next person? Maybe they do. But you know, his is smaller, but it's white. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. You know how weak. As you know, I just don't respect self-hating black people. they're a drag. And those kind of self-hating Negroes, they hate the black woman, they hate being a black man, or they hate being a black woman and they hate the black man, and they hate other black women. We're going to lose a lot of these people. They're going to cancel each other out.
Well, Dr. Shaw, I like to go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
The Center for Disease Control and the U.S. military medicine, what's this thing called? It's called it's some kind of biological weapons thing that they do. United States biological warfare people up in Fort Detrick, Maryland. If they need something to kill black folks, in order to make it work, black folk have to be willing to engage in the activity to make the death occur. Now, the vector that they know is the most dangerous is anal sex. They know this. So now, and all they have to do is trust all our rappers, like the one, the Dirty Fly Red from out of Houston, Throw That Boy Pussy, and he talks about eating doo-doo and how it tasted like M&Ms, and his producer was Lil Wayne. Oh, yeah, that's a real song. Yeah. So, you mean if our artists and all these people at Curtis Spoon didn't want me to attack viciously like I did, if they're participating in our destruction, we should hate them. And I don't care. If they need to make their money by killing us, it's a reason to despise and to be against them. And it's treason. Other people and other communities, like I just saw, the Chinese man who's head of a bank in China stole some money is going to be executed. If black people promised black folks who did stuff to bring us down that we were going to get you, you will suffer if you help bring us down, a lot of this stuff would stop. Most people don't think we're serious, and they're right. Black folks are not serious. I don't know anything that we're serious about except seriously letting other people replace us, displace us, rip us off, take our kids, steal our organs, steal our music, claim credit for our civilizations. We seem to be serious to let everybody do this for us. There's nothing else to find us serious about. I wish to God I was wrong.
I mean, I always think about all the stuff you said. My mind keep on going back to Oprah Winfrey, and I think she's doing a better job. She took the place of the Klan in lynching the black man in terms of our image and whatnot. But she won't do all these documentaries on black males. But what about the people she hang around that's non-black, like Harvey Weinstein and the John of God dude down in Brazil? See, they don't talk about that.
Oprah Winfrey is a lesbian that hates black men. And until black men start treating black women as human beings who happen to have vaginas instead of vaginas that have a body, we're in trouble. And you hold a person equally accountable, male or female. You do the best you can to help your people. Of course, take care of yourself, your family, and what you can do for the collective. And when you fail, I come against you, woman or male, with the same baseball bat in my hand. And I want to go after the other people doing this to us, but you got to have your house cleaned up first before you go after the next group. We will have to tell white America to get off of our backs. It has happened. Black folks in 1919, 100 years ago, says we're fighting back. You're not going to. I'm gonna shoot you if you come. I won't. I will defend myself, and in fact, if you bother me, I'll go on the offensive on you. Stop bothering me. I have the right to exist. Damn it. And the same thing has to be said to Oprah. We have a right to exist as black men. We're going to get you, Oprah, somebody. We're going to find someone. We're going to get a picture of Stedman. We're going to put it out, Stedman with the man. We're going to show you, Oprah. We're going to punish you. We have to make examples of people. We did it. What? Wow. In 1972 on Sammy Davis for hugging on Richard Nixon, black folks got Sammy Davis put off TV and everything. Sammy Davis was destroyed for hugging Richard Nixon. Oprah Winfrey's done a million times worse than Sammy Davis. And I think the other thing, it gets back, and I'm going to tell you what they're doing. They understand that black men are chumps who are beggars, sex beggars instead of men who feel like they should be in a relationship where they get sexual rewards and family life from their women instead of having to beg, please, baby, I just love you. Nowhere. We're the only men on this earth that I see beg like we're undeserving.
Mm.
God. And so we don't command respect of the women in our community. And they understand that, and they use Elaine Brown, and they're using Oprah Winfrey. They use a lesbian to kill the Panthers. They're using Oprah, another lesbian, to kill folks now. And brothers say, well, lesbianism's cool and wonderful because it's two women together. To me, if it's not right for it to be two dudes, then it's wrong if it's two women. Period. And black men are sorry. They figure lesbians some extra cooch for them to get. There's always some extra cooch. Now, it's sickening. There's more to you than your penis. Mm. By the way, when you say that, I'll get beat up. Man, there's nothing about me but my penis. Right. The black man's self-worth is going to have to be that he's a human being. He's an equal creation in the eyes of God, first and foremost, versus I got a big dick. And that's why these black men are getting killed all over the country, messing with white girls. Their father's on one. The white guy, some white dude just recently got charged for shooting his daughter's black boyfriend. What did he think he's going to do? Dummy. All these dumb black men, everything's just their penis and their scrotums, nutsack. It's just think that that's the whole. They act like it's Disney World, like it just got invented. And a little bit, almost in the same thing, there's loose-ass, sorry-ass black women that think, the world revolves around their vagina. And it really doesn't. And so this carnal, nasty, screw-all, eat-all, hump-all, disease-all way that we've adjusted or adopted as a community, it's going to be the death of many people, and that may be our salvation, that the people who have been brainwashed or are sinners or don't want to be any kind of ethical moral system, then they'll kill themselves off. And maybe when folks start dying and they all get that ass cancer I was talking about, you didn't post that video, Ron. My ass cancer video. Yeah, it's up on Poon Buster.
Okay, I'm definitely post it.
Start getting ass cancer and dying in 2 or 3 years. Then maybe we'll be able to overcome the LGBTQ boycott on real sexual information getting before the public, that the most dangerous sex you can have is anal sex. It's deadly. And, in fact, there's a guy, I just put it up on my Facebook page, a soft-as-shoes-looking white dude, went over to New Guinea from Australia, probably tried to get some black sex, probably got it. You can see him all up on these black men, and he caught typhoid. He almost died. They had to fly him back home.
He had typhoid. That's like some old school.
No, it's not old school. No. Typhoid is common for people to have anal sex.
Oh, okay. I was about typhoid Mary or something like that. Okay.
No. It's out here. There's a man, white dude, who's screwing people across 7 states, including the state of Tennessee. And all these people are coming in with typhoid. God, now the one white man's behind. That wasn't 20 years ago. Typhoid. You can even get polio having anal sex. They're not telling you.
Polio?
Yeah, there's so much stuff on
My goodness. Anal sex.
It's a very deadly practice, and they got all these stupid black men thinking, man, I'm had the little things up there who actively stretch each other's behinds out of shape. These folks have Pampers and all, want to commit suicide when they're in hospice. I talk to people who work in this, and this is not my opinion. This is what's happening. People really die. Okay? By the way, I'm not happy they die. I've seen people I cared about. You didn't want them in, and, this is my life. This is my body. This is my dick. It's my life. I give it who I want to, right? People give to the person with 18-inch thing, and then you need a colostomy. And then they don't want you to smell the doo-doo in the bag when they come around. Oh, man, it don't smell that bad. I put some hope in it. Like, I mean, so, and this is real stuff. I know someone got a colostomy. I think someone put a light bulb or something that broke up and somebody take the blood and reroute it. And I didn't ever hate the person for doing that. But did I want to smell their dude in the bag? No. No, I don't think that's fair. Do you want to smell my doo-doo in the bag? If I had someone break a phosphorescent light tube in my behind, do you have to smell my doo-doo? I'm just like that. Who needs friendship like that, dude? Do you get where I'm coming from?
All right, we hear you. Yeah.
And I know it sounds like it's manic, but this is what I see, and folk getting all kinds of stuff, and hepatitis C. And don't worry, for all the black folks who say, well, I'm not going to get no disease because I'm messing with folks that are clean. I'm messing with white folks. Well, there is an HIV/AIDS epidemic across rural white America that they're not talking about. And they're telling a lie I've heard before. It's exclusively a heterosexual disease that comes from exchanging needles. As if folks in Nashville don't have gay people. Now, you from Tennessee, you got some sissies up in Nashville.
Oh, definitely.
That's exactly what I said. That's what they're up in the Adirondacks and up in the Hamptons. And well, my age heterosexual. I don't care what it is. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, we're going to see some real social fallout. And I've seen it before. I feel it. I've been talking to Cher about this for years, and I'm watching it. If you saw that thing I sent you, heard, where AIDS cancer is rising most rapidly, at least they report. I don't believe it completely among black men and white women. Now, if white men are hitting white women in the booty, you know they're hitting white men in the booty, too. So anal cancer and throat cancer, I've been talking about this for years, Ron. It's finally just going to the ceiling. And that's why when I hear niggas, hello, don't judge me. You don't know what I was doing. I just had a bad tonsillitis. They're not going to admit they had throat cancer from eating booty and stuff like that. There's going to be more people tonsillitis. They're going to find something to like that. Now all same people, when they get these venereal diseases, that they have cancer. I have cancer. He has cancer. Everybody has cancer. You know, they sing the song, I got shoes. You got shoes. All God's children got shoes. I got cancer. You got cancer. All the queers got cancer. Right. They're going to be talking about cancer. And it's all going to be a front. And by the way, remember we were talking about the gay birth control pill a few years ago? I remember I said it wasn't going to work, and it's a lie. And I'm going to just wait. I know I'm right. There's no way you could take something. Now, I think if you see it on Facebook, there's nothing but true body cases all over for you to get into class action. It's messing up everything. Let me tell you something. If it breaks your bones and kills your kidney in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, what are the side effects 10 years from now? Are you hearing me? Like, if I didn't tell you the people that take the retroviral drugs to fight off the AIDS, the other things that they've got, and they tell you out of 340 million people in the United States, they say only 1 million have AIDS. If you believe that, you're out of your mind. Okay, you think E.T. and Michael Jackson would love this, right? There's no way. It's just 1 million people. Okay, now check this out. The people that take those retrovirals get cancer because the cells react to the drugs in their body. So now there are all these cancers that people are getting all over the country who were able to beat the AIDS, but they got the cancer from taking the medications. You hearing me? So the retrovirals cause early onset Alzheimer's. So you're going to meet people that are 40 that have Alzheimer's. You're going to meet people that are 40 with arthritis. You're going to meet people that are 30 with arthritis or Alzheimer's. Or you're going to see people that are 40, 50 years old that look like they're 70 or 80 because the drugs cause early aging. Like Elijah got old all fast. It causes people to lose their mind and go crazy, all this mental illness. It causes people's internal organs to fail. And it does, again, it causes bones to break or not form or early osteoporosis. So you're going to have more hunchbacks than the Notre Dame. And this is what this so-called gay revolution's brought nothing but pain, death, and destruction. No, we're not talking about the individual cousin gay that we had, that we love, we grew up with, and we understand Uncle Billy did something that we think. We're talking about a movement that's fully aware that these things will occur. And they're so selfish, they don't talk about it. There's a book that I always recommend people get. If they got some money, brother, they can buy a copy. It costs about $100. One of the supporters that I got from your show, whose name has to be anonymous because he don't want to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. You know how it is, Ron. If people find out that folks help us, people come after them.
Yeah.
But one of the people that heard me through your show, every now and then they hook me up. And now I have to say that Black Rose has been a very strong supporter. Even if they can't send me $1 now and then, they're just a love. I mean, one of the nicest people I've ever met. Mm-hmm. This book is called, After the Ball, How America Will Conquer Fear and Hatred of Gays in the 90s, written by Marshall Kirk and Hunter Madsen. And the last chapter of the book, it talks about gay people and how gay people are trifling and how gay people are nasty. And I didn't say this. This is what he's saying. Okay, so folk will go jump on me and blame me for it. I didn't write this. This is gay. This is like gay Sun Tzu. Okay. Okay. Part 2 is solutions. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Part 3. Not in our stars, but in ourselves. And it says, the state of our community, gay pride goeth before fall. Our purpose in writing this unpleasant chapter, and he's talking about how crazy the gay community is. I mean, everything that you say was a stereotype and homophobia and be punished for, these gay Sun Tzu, they're gurus. These are like their Plato, Aristotle, Aristophanes, right? So on. Mm-hmm. I'm reading the real. This is $100 book. You could pay up to $1,000 to get this book. I got mine for $94. And he talks about, one part is called Lies, Lies, All Lies. That's on page 280. But listen to this one. The next section is a rejection of morality on 289. Mm-hmm. The next section is narcissism and self-centered behavior. That's on 295. Self-indulgence, self-destruction. That's the next section. Indulging our privates in public. Misbehavior in bars. Misbehavior in relationships. Emotional blockage and anesthesia. He's talking about drugs there. Reality denial, nonsensical thinking, and mythomania. Look at this. Gay political fascism and the oppression of PC. If we said that, folk would jump all over. You hate, you judge, you hate. These folks who are into their community are saying every problem I've described earlier, they're saying this is a problem. That's their book. That's their damn Bible. I read it. Now, you know how Malcolm would always quote people's sources back to them? So I quote their source. What do your gay leaders say? They say I'm right. They say we're right. And they say they're wrong. So if they put this book out and their fear about self-destructive behavior, it is coming to a head. 20 plus 20 is 40. Remember, AIDS took off in 1980, and they found AIDS in 1981 and named it. We're in a new generation, and a whole lot of stuff is going to begin to fall apart. You didn't see the Native American woman who wrote some changing hip-hop music into Canadian indigenous language. She died at 26. If you start looking, you're going to start seeing a lot of stars and notable people. They're dying quickly. I remember this before. First it was one or two, and then it was dozens of them just disappearing. And maybe this is going to have to hit us down in Atlanta and some other places for us to be able to talk about black people getting their stuff together, because these folks, Boule and other folks, have hijacked our community, took us down the wrong path. They've given us butt blocks instead of the tools to freedom. And they've given us Democrats instead of real empowerment, welfare instead of self-determination and wholesome and being holistically safe. And so this thing is falling apart. That's what you feel. That's what you see. You might see a landslide victory for Trump. Not that I like any of the parties. I just like us, God, and I like humanity. That includes everyone. I'm not mad at folks based on race or color, but how you treat me, how you relate to my group, and how you relate to my God, too. Yes. So I'm going to stop there. I know you have something to do, and this thing went long. And I
you got so much information.
But you don't ask me questions, so I go off on the tangent.
I'm trying to learn, man. You're a professor.
All the conversations be offline. We have to do this so it's tighter.
Well, you know what? We'll work on that. I'm definitely going to look forward to visiting, going out to the East Coast, going back to my traveling and stuff in the next year. So I definitely want to connect with you. And sometimes it's hard to read people on the telephone. You know, like don't want to interrupt people. It's kind of hard to figure out some things.
It's not hard to catch me on the telephone. Typically, if you call me, I call you back.
And I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like, in terms of like having a conversation. Sometimes you don't want to cut nobody off when they're talking. You know, when they pausing or what. That's what I'm talking about now. You're very accessible.
If they call, I mean, they can talk to me another time. But I'm gonna just say this to you. By the way, I sent you. Did you get that stuff from that sex shop in Baltimore?
Oh, you sent it by email or messenger or text?
I sent it. We all be.
I know you sent me something about grant. I appreciate you sending that grant opportunity. I'm definitely going to apply for it.
If you help with the grant stuff, whatever. I know some folks. So they said we're going to come through this. We just have to. There may be, I don't know. Sometimes it's not money that someone has. Sometimes it's a contact or whatever. Like that brother I wanted to connect you to. I think the brother that does stuff who's from D.C. that does stuff in Denmark. You can hook up with him, and he's real cool. If you don't have his number, this is why I just need to chat with you frequently. I mean, periodically. I'm going to give you a number because you need to meet this brother. This is a good brother, man, and he's a filmmaker, and he knows how to edit and all this other kind of stuff. I'm going to send you this dude's number now. Let me see if I can remember it. Look at it.
Well, while you looking up his number, you know, Damon Dash, just to jump back on him quickly and briefly, you know, he's being sued for $50 million because the photographer allegedly came to his home and he came into the room. She was supposed to go there to film for a project. And she came into his home. She was supposed to stay there. She stayed there overnight. And Damon Dash came into the bedroom and sexually assaulted her. And then he and his wife allegedly kept her camera equipment, her filming equipment. She had some pictures of Mary J. Blige and Sean Combs and Queen Latifah, MC Light, Lenny Kravitz, Russell Simmons, Lauryn Hill. Now, keep in mind, Damon Dash, or his dirty, low-down ass, is on this new Surviving R. Kelly Part 2 crap. See, people talk about this R. Kelly voodoo, and I believe that is true because everybody that keeps trying to come against him, some kind of way they get in a charge, they go down for something, they are exposed. People need to watch out. When you're trying to come against someone and your hands are dirty, you have skeletons in your closet, you need to sit down and be quiet. And that's what Damon Dash should have done, and now his ass is getting sued. $50 million, and I'm glad. He should have
So,
set his
so you
ass
say
down.
you know he did it. You feel like he's guilty of that.
He probably did. He's so sleazy.
Yeah, so what's your take on the Survivor R. Kelly stuff? Like, I know you talking about you think it's a curse or people to try to go against R. Kelly. What's your take on the whole thing? I guess it's supposed to be a documentary, right? And have you seen the first part of that? Like the first couple of shows?
I did watch the first one. I refused to watch that second one. That's pure crap. From the beginning, I felt like this was just an attack on black men. Mm-hmm. Okay, period. They've come after Tupac. They've come after, we can just go down the line.
Yep.
It was Chris Brown, trying to set him up with the fake rape in Paris. Yep. Now they're coming after Cuba Gooding Jr. This is just an assault to criminalize black men, and we've gone through this. Ida B. Wells talked about this. Black men are always supposed to be portrayed as this sexual deviant. And that's what this is all about. It's not about R. Kelly sleeping with young girls. Kelly, all of these people sleep with young girls. That's what rock stars sing songs about. Their hits have been about sleeping with young girls. So this is nothing new.
That's right.
So it's not about that. This is about bringing down black men, and that's what we're standing on. It's not just trying to support R. Kelly. No, that was a representation of black men that they're trying to bring down. That's what we're standing on. So that's my take on it. And like I said, all of these people that keep coming after R. Kelly, as you see, they keep crumbling. That police chief and the commissioner in Chicago, now his ass fired. You out of a job.
I ain't think about it like that.
It's just a domino effect.
Even Kim Fox, that Fox lady?
That Fox lady.
Yeah.
Oprah, she'll be the next one. Her and Gail, they going down.
Oprah got that school in South Africa, right? Where the girls got abused sexually.
Yes.
Everybody ain't attacking Oprah, but I'm saying she's friends with Harvey Weinstein and the guy down in Brazil, the John of God guy. The guy she endorsed. The John of God dude that he's in prison. I guess he's facing he's serving about 19 or 20 years in prison down in Brazil for sex trafficking and stuff and doing things for babies and things of that nature. But she endorsed this guy. She interviewed him back in 2012, endorsed him and everything. And now she distances herself from John of God.
Absolutely.
She's
going down.
Yeah.
Hashtag mute Oprah, no bra. She's out of here. I mean, she's done. And this is all the setup. This is a setup for her downfall. Subtract her support, so when they bring her down, nobody's going to support her. This is their playbook. Mm-hmm. We've seen this played out many times before. It happened to Cosby. His support system was taken away from him, so nobody wanted to support him. We supported O.J., then when O.J. turned on us again, no support for you, so when your ass went to jail, we didn't care.
But the OJ kind of like he's an interesting case. Though I don't know it's hard to hate OJ for me. I know that he was Jim Brown or Muhammad Ali.
I hate OJ. OJ is hateable. He don't care about black folks. I
didn't think he just care about OJ.
No. Black men have been getting shot dead over his whore ass wife and all the drugs that he was using in California. Black people being punished collectively over the OJ Simpson case. It's despicable. OJ should have gone somewhere. He understood that black men collectively would be punished for the gangsters that killed his wife because folks wanted him to be guilty. Had he been smart to think about someone other than his penis, his money, his fetish for white women, he's selfish. I don't like any of these people. In fact, it would have been better off for us had he gone to jail. It would have been better off for OJ. It would have been some black awakening. Let me tell you, Larry Pinckney, I don't know if you've had him on your show, but you have a way to contact him. If you don't, you call me. Mm-hmm. Larry Pinckney and them tried to get OJ to support the black cause back in the 60s. OJ saw anything black, he'd run. OJ does not care about us. And we need to start saving people and not forest. They're collateral damage. They're roadkill on the white supremacy highway. We keep rolling. When you see roadkill, you don't pull up and say, "Oh, this animal deserves a burial." You say, "Damn, I'm glad it's not stuck on my car."
Well, OJ thing, I had talked to football players from back in the day who worked with Jim Brown, guys who played in the first Super Bowl.
Your voice is muffled. You got something in front of your voice.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to football players who played with OJ back in the day, who played the first Super Bowls, and these guys, they worked with Jim Brown when he was doing the economic empowerment thing, and they said, we never expect OJ to be one of us like that, but we respected him because that's who he was. Like, he was himself. He was never about that. Like you say, he was never about that race thing or about doing things for black folks in that capacity, but he was a likable guy. According to him, he's a likable guy. He has like a certain personality that gets him over with people. Even today,
but there comes a point where your likable personality comes at an expense to your people. It's not fair. It's something for nothing. This is the same disagreement I was having with the brother the other day. I didn't say that OJ wasn't likable, but then again, I don't like coons, so OJ isn't likable to me. I've never liked OJ. Never. And also, I probably want to be on some sponsorship program. OJ, when you talk to black entertainers, they always have a different take than order because it's some business connection. OJ may have an opportunity for them, so we don't want to say nothing bad about OJ. And what you find is the same way when Monique was on the judge's show, and they can't be critical of anyone. So if they talk about Lizzo, well, Lizzo, she's young and she's got to find. Everything's always, you can't have, it's Hollywood. You can't have absolute rights or wrongs because I may not get a job or a contract or an opportunity if I have a strong stance. But you know who has a strong stance? The Nazis, the white supremacists, the Klan, the Aryan Brotherhood. They all have a strong stance. And by us having no stance, we're weak. All these people promote weakness in our community, including coon preachers and folks like I Am the Walrus, T.D. Jakes, who he even looked funny when he had hair. He looks even stranger without. I don't know. You'll never hear these preachers talk about self-defense or certain. They won't do it. So our people are always being disarmed in every conceivable way so we can be violated and victimized. So I'm not surprised. I don't like sports too much. I don't respect black athletes in general. They become an embarrassment. A lot of them are druggies that want to be laid up with white women and leave the community. But they want us to buy their shirts and shit. I could care less. I mean, good riddance to almost all of them, unless they were doing something. Now, there's some good athletes, but they're coons. And being an athlete, being a black star and entertainer is a way to be different from other black folks. That's why so many black people want to be in entertainment, so they can be a star. Man, the white people really like us. Look, they're clapping for this fake world that you somehow will not be like the other people in your community if you become wealthy or famous. And that's a big drive. Everybody wants to be a star. Why? Because it's so hard being black. It would be a hell of a lot easier being black if we focused in on making black great as a collective instead of an individual being famous or well-known. Because at the end of the day, like, what's his name, Wycliffe Jean, I dogged that dude up on Twitter. Yeah, I went after him. I dogged him. I said I wish the police had whooped his ass in California when they arrested him. He's a coon, a Haitian coon who sell out his own people. The least the cops could have done was stop his ass and make him tremble. These kinds of people are narcissistic. They only care about themselves. Well, I don't want to make a statement against pedophilia because I don't want to alienate my fans. So in other words, I've got to go along with every awful thing that's done to most black people because I might get $1 out of it. Other people don't do that. Other people, let me tell you, in Kansas or one of those western states, they were in a meatpacking factory, and these illegals weren't being treated right by the white men there. They went on strike. they got a raise and their treatment improved. You know goddamn well if there's a situation where black men were being mistreated, maybe 1 or 2 black men would stand up and all the others would try to sell that person out to get a few more crumbs for themselves. At some point, this has to be confronted as a weakness that must be punished. Nothing short of punishing traitors. It's the beginning of freedom. It starts in-house. I know a lot of other folks, well, we got to go after the other people. No, you need to go after self first. Let me tell you something. Those Mexican folks knew to go on strike because their community would have punished them to punk them out. They all were being collectively mistreated for being foreigners, so they collectively stood together, and they get treated better. They've got more rights than we do as illegals because we've got so much scum and so many traitors and cowards, and nobody can ever risk anything about it, standing up for other black people. But please buy my books or my records or my tapes to go, I want something from you, but nothing will come to you from me. We have an anti-social contract, and it has to be broken. And the people who perpetuate it have to be punished. All of a sudden, things would change. If Oprah Winfrey knew that a couple million people, we could do this, we could start this with your platform, that we want OWN removed from our cable package. That's a movement right there. Oprah Winfrey off. We want OWN taken off our package. If it has Oprah Winfrey shit on it, we don't want it. We'll just cut our whole cable. Let me tell you something. We went to Comcast and said, if you don't get that fat bitch off of our package, we won't watch cable anymore. Just to have people calling people. You know what? Comcast will say, well, Oprah, you need to say something. I mean, the black people are so angry with us because of you. We thought this was going to be okay. All we have to do is demand, hey, Oprah Winfrey, since you do so much stuff on black men, how many black men work for your damn company? If it's not 15%, your ass is going out of business. How do we divest? Where's the stockholders meeting? And we can get a whole bunch of black dudes to come in and put Noxema on their face, come in as fat black women with pillows on their thing to protest Oprah. Oh, my God. It would set this thing off.
Ron, you know that Dr. Short, he despises fat women. He just despises fat.
I don't like obesity.
He despises fat women. He does not like fat people. Period.
Wow.
Period.
It's not healthy. Gluttony is bad in particular. No,
he's fat shamed. He's fat shamed, Randy. Randy, stop fat shaming.
No, Reverend Barber. I mean, let me tell you something. When a cannibal looks at Reverend Barber, they think they've died and gone to heaven.
Hey, Lord have mercy.
Look, Oprah Winfrey, I'm just saying, we could turn Oprah out. And all the people have to do is start saying, we want Oprah off of our cable. You put her on there. See, it's not that Oprah is so much Oprah's size. We know that Oprah deep down inside is still that little fat girl who was a prostitute when she was young. And she's never really left that, no matter, because if she had moved on, she wouldn't be attacking so many black folk. If she gave Oprah hell, she started coming on Oprah, and like Michael Jordan's catching hell. You know, people went after Michael Jordan because he's a man. We black men, we can hate someone with the penis. And then we have a problem with the person with a vagina. Well, maybe I could slide up in there. Even when they don't want the person. I don't understand that. I mean, can't there be a bad person with a vagina, like a trans woman? But black men, you know, the black men will pause. Because she's still a woman, although she got a sheet on. You know, we can't take a position. I mean, sorry, punk black men. Anyway, if Oprah were to face a commercial attack, we find a sponsor for OWN and just go ask them, I hate you because you have Oprah Winfrey, and we're going to make the stores take your stuff out. Amazon's going to have to get, we don't want OWN. Oprah Winfrey would have to have a meeting with people and say, you know, people are really angry with us. They're coming at us because of you. Their white allies are not going to risk anything for her butter biscuit eating ass. They're not. I said, Oprah, you need to make amends with the colored people because they're really angry with us. And you know what Oprah would do?
What?
Oprah would come out. She'll do something crazy like have cornrows on and have a press conference. And you know what? And all the little coon conscious community people say, Oprah's come home. Oprah has her hair natural. You know, it doesn't take anything to impress her. Like, well, Oprah's got her hair natural. She's coming home. and the press conference, yeah, it's true. And she'd be in a gated community, and she'd probably get a couple of black kids from the homeless shelter, dress them up so look like someone black likes her. But Oprah can be made to be humble. And the other thing that people can do is interview Oprah Winfrey's family. Get some of Oprah Winfrey's family to tell Oprah, knock this bull off. It's not that hard. I have a friend who would dog Oprah on your show and say, Oprah, we're ashamed. Stop embarrassing us. Black folk hate us because of you.
That's all a relative?
Well, Kalia Clark is her cousin.
Oh, Sister Clark, huh? Wow.
Kalia Clark is first cousin. I know two of Oprah's first cousins. Oprah's from Mississippi. If we can find her people, they can't stand Oprah. Get some of Oprah's family come on and say, bitch, we hate you. When you come to family barbecue, we can put you in.
And she even put Miss Kalia Clark in a Legends Ball, which is interesting, from 2005.
Say that again?
We had a Legends Ball. Remember when Oprah had all the black woman icons, the legends, the living legends, go to her home. And she didn't even invite her cousin, who's a legend in her own right.
Yeah, because Oprah has lied. Oprah's father, first and foremost, is one of those unsung people. About 20% of black kids are raised by single fathers in this country. You'll never hear anyone praise single black fathers. Oprah Winfrey's father raised his daughter when nobody else was trying to. Oprah's never said, my father loved me. My father at least tried. She wasn't outside in the cold. He wasn't beating the hell out of her. He wasn't humping on her. He couldn't be 100% dead, right? But he's a black man, so we need to make him be a monster. That way I justify the coffee puncher and me stabbing black men in the back because my father, right? And mind you, it's unusual for a mother to give a daughter to the father. Not when you have a grandmother, everybody. Means that man must have been very good with children. And Oprah must have been very difficult for her family. For the aunts and the mother and the grandmother to send her with the dad. You're a Southerner. Isn't that unusual?
Yeah.
So maybe the dad had something to offer that the mother didn't offer. But Oprah dogs mama and daddy. Usually you like one parent more than the other, and it seems as if you got into college and got to do the things that you wanted to do, being in your dad's house, he couldn't have been that. He wasn't a total monster. But Oprah needed to remake herself. She needed to be a victim, and she knew that she could appeal to my father was no good. He raped me, or something like that. And it's sad. I went to the elite school, and I used to watch people there was a way all you had to do was say one thing, or black men this, and everyone, oh, yes, but of course. And anyone that knows, white men are molesting and a deadbeating, like Hunter Biden had $156 million and didn't give $1 in child support.
Wow.
To his $156 million? Do you realize how easy it would be to give that woman $1 million and make her disappear with $156 million? Is that unreasonable? Think about that. You have $156 million. You got a child. You haven't sent a penny in 7 years. You have a minimum of $156 million. I think you could take care of a child that you didn't even want.
Yeah.
And a lot of these white men have 10 times the money that black men have, but not 20 times, and don't pay any child support and don't lose their driver's license. They don't go to jail. None of that. Will Oprah ever do a show on that? No. And so there are other things that people could do to protest to Oprah. They could send Oprah white sex toys. They could just send her one every day. Just everybody just send it to the point where she'd have to go to the both of them. Please don't send it. You know. Or send a little piece of the carpet. I mean, just it would be to make her know we're mad at her, but we want her off of our package. We don't want her anymore. That would make, and we'd give her some conditions, and we know she wouldn't agree to that for her to be honest about her biography, stop bashing her family. And by the way, the tabloid magazines would eat it up. And we have to do this not just to hurt anybody black that tries to bring us down. She'll still be a billionaire, but she'll be a billionaire humbled. They humbled Mike Milliken. The Jews humbled them. Madoff, the one who stole money from his fellow Jews, they broke him. You know, when we see a black person have money, it doesn't matter what they've done to hurt other black people because we're so carnal and materialistic. We're just glad to see someone black have it, even if they cut all our throats to get it. And until we get out of that satanic approach to things, we're dead. Trust me. Violate Jefferson Davis. Violate Elvis Presley. Violate any white icon. Violate any ethnic groups and watch them come for you. Our people, there's nothing that we'll stake our lives for. In fact, I'll say this in particular, fake church-going black folks, 99% of them won't even stake their lives for Jesus. I would to God there was something that we would fight for, we'd stand up for. I don't see it. When our children disappear, do we fight for anything? When our organs are harvested, is there a movement to stop our organs from being harvested? When they kill our women when they're having babies, there's nothing that makes us say we're going to stop it. Nothing. And that points to an absence of God in the hearts and minds of the people, because we used to do it when we had a concept of absolute rights and wrongs. There's a God, there's a right in the universe, there's a wrong in the universe. And light stands up to darkness. It doesn't try to hang out and roll a blunt with darkness. So, anyway, let me see. Oh, my God. It's after 3 o'clock.
Yeah, Dr. Short. Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Well, anyway, we just have to do this again. But maybe we should do an end of the year thing, a retrospective. Now, that would be fun.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
We should do that.
You should do that.
We have to talk about 1919 and, man, oh my God, now that would be fun. And talk about the Equality Act and, I don't know. I was still trying to do this thing, I was going to, do this thing with Val, where I was going to be like John Lewis making an obscene phone call. Hello, this is John Lewis. I'm looking for the most powerful man in the world. Can you imagine? And it's like,
she agreed to that. I mean, she into that Breakfast Club type stuff.
No, John, and say, look, John, you can't be my lover. I'm not into men. Said, you don't know until you've tried it. Your problem with Donald is that you do not practice equality.
Okay.
Can you imagine if Magazine start haggling with Trump on the phone? It says, John, you don't attract me. Dr. King looked better in his casket. I hate to say that to you. Right.
So you're a real treasure in the truth.
Donald Trump and John Lewis talking. And John, I don't even know what is it? And John's, I'd like to try this taste good and do not sound it look kind of scrumptious. And you can cool mine. And have John Lewis and Donald Trump arguing. Look, John, John, you haven't been nice to me. You haven't supported me since I've been here. You didn't come to my inauguration. You made everybody know that you were a no-show. Now you want to call me and hook up with me. I don't think I could really do that because I'm too much into women. I like women. It's just natural, John. It's natural. You know, I think I know why you're not natural, John. You let those cops beat you on the bridge so many times until I think they must have beat the straight out of you. And can you see him and John having the conversation?
Oh, definitely.
And it would be fun. And so, you know, Dr. King, aside from letting people beat him, he had a lot of women. I really liked that about him. He knew how to dress. He could speak really good. And he had a lot of women. Dr. King knew how to really, I mean, he wasn't as smooth as me because he doesn't have the money. He didn't have a yacht. And nobody burns crosses in front of my talents. It's never going to happen. Can you imagine comparing yourself to Martin Lee Down and Dr. King? And the other thing is, if I had to get shot, I wouldn't get shot at a budget motel. Dr. King was a Nobel Prize winner. I know he cared for the people, but he should have stayed at the Holiday. He would have a whole different take on that. And it's like, thank God. So, knock. This game is stupid, John. I don't want to play it. I'm never going to join your party. And, you know, you don't look good with the bald head. You should ask Maxine for a wig. Just, I don't know what you want. I mean, you know, you push for the crime bill of Biden. I do criminal justice reform and let some of your people out. I mean, John, think about it. Some of those guys getting out you could sleep with. You didn't even think about it from a gay matrix perspective. Instead, you just wanted to say no because it was my idea. It's not right. Can you imagine having this negotiation? And I would just
wow.
And John would say, well, Dawn, you were never in the movement. We would work together and sit at the table of humanity, brotherhood, and break bread. And the gentlemen, we would respect one another, John. I mean, but Trump, you're so prejudiced. You don't. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine.
Can you imagine saying, you're so prejudiced, Trump? You don't like women. You don't like the gays. You don't like the lesbian. You don't like the black. You don't like the Latino, the Latinx. You don't like the illegal, the Muslim. Donald, you have to know everyone. This is America. Set the country free. And pull your sheet back. I'm coming over. Tell Melania to move over. We should overcome. I'm coming home.
Oh, my God. All right, Dr. Shaw, can you tell the people how we can reach you or connect with you?
Well, how do they reach me? They can call me through the office number. That's 443-833. What's that? That's 7868. Or for folks who like, because you know we're working against human trafficking and all this stuff now, along with the political campaign. We'll have another conversation on that.
Mm-hmm.
My email is wrandyshort@gmail.com. I'm in LinkedIn. I'm in Twitter. I'm DRS1. And that's the way you can address me from here on out when you don't want to get into trouble and to mess with your algorithms. You can call me DRS1.
DRS1, okay.
DRS1 at Twitter, DRS1. And then, of course, I'm Randy Short and Facebook. There's a Randy Short Twitter. I don't know if I'm using that one because I'm not supposed to have that one. So, anyway.
So your Cash App, too.
Oh, yeah, and the Cash App is Dr. Randy Short, Dr. Randy Short. They capitalize the R and the S and Randy and Short. Of course, the D is capitalized. And let me see. And my PayPal is the WRandyShort@gmail. So yes, the people that have been donating, I have to say this to you, Brother Ron. Between you and Ashira and my fellowship, we've been doing stuff fighting against pedophilia and all. I don't know if I even taught you about that we blocked the legalization of prostitution in D.C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even taught you. That's another conversation. We'll do that at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But people dropping small donations, they help. Believe it or not. Every now and then there are people just drop you whatever, and it pays this, or like you get a new phone. I'm going to start doing podcasts. In fact, if you want, I can send my stuff to your platform. I'm going to start doing stuff, doing more. I've got the capacity to do it. And to see how we can do this, because we need this thing called United Black Artists, like the United Artists that the Jews did. Well, we need it. And that way, everybody puts their own stuff, but we help each other do it as a collective. So let me see, let's do this again. I'm Randy Short, I think 1965, or Randy 1965 in Instagram. And so I'm on Instagram, Randy Short, Randy Lancaster Short. Those are in Facebook. I'm in LinkedIn at Dr. W. Randy Short. And I think, more or less, that's how you can catch me. And I use other things. So I'm in Messenger and all that other stuff. So Messenger, Facebook, we're doing all of that. And there will be, I have a website. I've neglected it, but I need to get on it. It's called Fighting Black. And I'm going to start working on that maybe in February. And people need to be aware. I have a book, and it's talking about religion and slavery. It's going to be a $29.95 book. Oh, my God. So I'm waiting to see the galleys. So it's happening. So eventually, and I do have I think I'm Randy Short. I've got a YouTube channel. I just don't use it that much. I'm going to probably use it a little bit more this coming year. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on most of them, LinkedIn, and there are many ways to hit. But yes, definitely have folks drop me a piece, drop me a letter, drop me an invitation to do their platform or show, and we can have a whole lot of fun. And it is. I look forward to that. So, did I answer that? I hope so, because I'm getting silly. That's probably why my John Lewis picked up.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Can I do one more John Lewis?
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Short.
I would like to thank the distinguished gentleman from New York for giving me his time. Back in 1957, the court issued a decision. I remember that decision. They told us that we would be going to integrated schools. It didn't happen for me. Now is the time for us to make a decision. Now, let us set the country free. I yield the rest of my time to the distinguished gentleman from New York.
And Sister Black Rose, you got anything you want to add? Your contact information?
I need to know. Did I get him?
Yeah, you good. You got him. I mean, I heard him in person. I've met him a couple of times before. Yeah, you got John Lewis down pat.
I'm good. You should tell him that.
You probably said, oh, you got to put all this stuff on me.
I have John Lewis and Barack Obama. Can you imagine? Can it seem like this? Barack, come over and see me. I need someone.
Okay, Michelle, can you take me to the hospital? Get John's here. I don't know, maybe I can cheer him up, give him a hand job. The Diego Medal of Freedom. I think he likes me. He's the only black person that likes me. I'm going to go over. We have a lot in common. just a millionaire 2 or 3 times.
Mm.
You know, I like my men like my money, white and tall. Anyway, so let me go over and see. So, John, to put you on hold for a second, you don't mind. Michelle? See, John, between you and I'd rather be with you than her. You don't demand much. And
that was great. I mean, no, you're good.
I'm going to get in trouble. And can you imagine Donald say, "Hey, Obama, I take your call to John. I'm going to put it out on Twitter." You did that thing to call me. I'm going to get you back, nigger. You're going to learn to respect some white people in this country. I don't care if you're half white. I'm going to beat the black half off of you. So it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, so definitely have some folks. In fact, again, I think that we all be a community. In particular, there have been some folks who genuinely, they have no idea. Those of us who speak up and stand up, and trust me, you got to check your email. I need your help, John. There's a $35 million sex trafficking ring I need your help to bust up. Mm. When you mess with people's money and you stand up for black folks, you make boule coons and you make white folks mad. And trust me, if I tried to work in Starbucks or Burger King or anywhere other than start my own LLC, which I will have within 2 weeks, trying to work in this economy, you're blackballed completely. Mm-hmm. Completely. I've been asked to work with a sister who got beaten half to death by the police. And all these things, that we do, Ron, folks have no idea. Each time you stand up or you help someone, you make enemies with powerful people. Yeah. Like I think I told you, we threw the gauntlet down and prevented them from demolishing, at least thus far, Cab Calloway's house. Mm-hmm. But we've made major enemies who want to jack us up. I'm talking about mob-connected people.
Yeah, I know it's Baltimore. I know.
And so people need to understand that when they do something, it may seem small, but it's very, very helpful. If certain people hook me up in a couple of ways, it means that, one, from having a VPN, I think I need to I was using Ashura's VPN. In fact, Ashura may put me back on her VPN. That way we can do research and do stuff if folks don't know it's you. They literally trace you and find out who asked this question, then they come after you because they find out you investigated them. There's so few black people that stand up until it's very easy to pinpoint people who are not going along with the program. And it sounds like begging, it's not. The Jewish companies and corporations and not-for-profits constantly raise. Southern Poverty Law constantly raises. People like you, Ron, and Darren Muhammad and other people that I know, Irritated Genie and so forth, we need to raise it. Mm. Because the NAACP is not going to do it. The Urban League's not going to do it. The Congressional Black Circus won't do it. Urban Greed won't do it. Scam won't do it. The National Asshole Network will not do it. If we don't do it, it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And by the way it's growing, I want to tell you that I should have, by March, a coalition of people between D.C., Baltimore, maybe a few other cities, Richmond, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, that will be fighting against eugenics, racial discrimination, human trafficking, as well as challenging certain churches, the leadership, to man up or be embarrassed. But it just takes resources to do it. And I have to thank my mother who was down here. Were it not for family and friends like the Shira, Black Rose, and others, I wouldn't be able to do it, nor would you. So I want to say that this has been a banner year of people supporting us. We're even looking at something that's crazy. Get ready to laugh. I think we might force them to close the entire school system down in a couple of cities because the water's poison. I'm hoping to see what I can do about that. How do you like that? So, believe it or not, when I think about it, the people who backed us, we fought them hijacking the Civil Rights Act. Remember I was telling you about that?
Mm-hmm.
See how it stalled, but remember who kick-started saying, hell no? They were on their way to legalizing pimping, brothel owning, sex purchases, and all of that, and basically opened the door to pedophilia in D.C., and we stopped them. And we stopped them from knocking Cab Calloway's house down, and we've done some other things. We've exposed lead poisoning in D.C., and we'll do more, and that's on a shoestring. So when people send stuff, I had one dude send me 10. I says, you have no idea. Thank you for 10. Mm-hmm. I can actually do something with 10. 10 may pay for me to have a third phone number for a month. You know, you do this stuff through GoDaddy or whatever. It's not like we're trying to do it highbrow. But you need to know I have use of an office in D.C. I'm going to have use of an office in Baltimore. Wow. So I'm going to go from just talking about Coon Busters to doing it. And I even have a partner. I just sent you his phone number, a documentary filmmaker that will work with us on demand if we had the capacity to work with him. Do you get me? Something else. We helped get the sister released from jail from the FBI. Remember that? We also did what we could do for Roger Stone, and we're still working that. And that's a white person. So that's a freebie. But we've been doing some things, as well as we helped to launch this sister running for office. And so that's with small capacity. And so, I want to thank my fellowship called the Salt and Liberation Temple. We have a small fellowship, about a core of 5 to 10 people. And sure is part of it, but actually, it's more like 7 or 8, 10. But the key people, and we've been doing church work with a very small number of people who are tired of going to churches that don't do anything in the community. So, in fact, I'll tell you this now, stop. I need your help because I've got a document to share with you, and that we may topple the government of a major city on the East Coast with some information on corruption. Would you help?
I mean, anything's possible.
Well, I'm just saying, if I have proof that someone is making deals for someone to get millions of dollars unlawfully, if I send you pictures of it, you put it up along with the story, it'll help move it around. I believe that we can topple a government on the East Coast. It would really be good, and it will help free up some black people. I can't say where. I just want you to say yes, and I'll leave you alone. I'll let you go. This is the kind of stuff we've been doing. By the way, we forced one of the city agencies to give a license to a business owned by a friend of mine. And, I'll do one more. We got a grant, dude, to wash clothes for homeless kids through the Washington Redskins Foundation. Of course, I had to use the local media to force them to give up the money they didn't want to give to black kids. See why? So I had to hide. If someone found it was me, they may say no. You understand how it is? Black folk have no idea. You're going to have to fight for everything. And a lot of people, you'd be amazed, blacks in positions that won't do anything for their own. And it makes so much more for people to do with very little. As for folks who are still giving money to these coon preachers in the NAACP. They need to start sending money to We All Be, to State of the City in Baltimore, to Dry Bones, to sisters like Keisha Forrester or sisters like Elaine Riddick. By the way, that's moving forward in Atlanta. So this is going to be a powerful year. Let me get off of here. Love and peace to everybody. And
yeah, definitely not short.
Yeah, we got to do it end of the year. And that way, I have a chance that we could just do one at a time. And, of course, anyway, let me stop. Peace.
Well,
good night.
We love you, man, Dr. Short. And Mr. Black Star, you got anything to add or good?
Peace and love. And as we transition into the new year, I wish everyone prosperity and peace and joy.
I received that. Well, we love you all madly. Y'all have a great night and a happy ending to 2019.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.